Okay. All right, here we go. Worlds End, Infinity War, whatever you want to call this pay-per-view. But it is technically the last one of the year. Hopefully everybody's out there having a great and safe holiday. But we are here to review Worlds End, AEW, a very long show. But let my co-hosts introduce themselves today from Long Island, New York.
Oh,
Who from Long Island, New York?
Who is?
This pay-per-view is in Long Island, New York. No one here is from
all right. Long Island, nigga, what?
Man, this is straight face 40. Back on it again. World's End pay-per-view. Let's get it.
Yup, Black Shaggy in the building. I got the Ravens game on behind me, so my mood might fluctuate while we do this, but let's get it. We here.
Here we go. Let's get right to it. Let's kick it off with the pre-show. I don't know how much everybody saw the pre-show, so this probably won't go long, even though I feel like these pre-show matches are pretty long at the same time, too. But let's get right into it. Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale. Anybody see this match?
No, we told you. You're the only one who saw it, bro.
This match happened? What? Oh, I would like to see that. Damn, I ain't get to see that match. I'm mad as hell at myself.
It was good. I will say they had a lot of time though. Like this is a pretty long pre-show match.
They both from New York. That's probably why.
Yeah, because it went about almost 14 minutes. Like it wasn't bad though. It ended up with Willow winning, so Willow went over.
Oh shit! Okay, Willow. Wow.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, she beat Statlander.
That's a big win.
Good for her.
Yeah, good.
Hopefully you get a push afterwards.
Hey, wait. I'm gonna ask you this because I don't watch Rampage and I only watch Ring of Honor for the pay-per-views, but they've been telling this story with Stokely and Statlander. Like, what's going on with that? Anybody know?
I'll say this because Stokely was on commentary throughout this match. I guess he's trying to get Statlander or Willow to join in some group or something like that. I'm not 100% sure all the way where it's going.
But he was on 2.0.
He was on commentary though. I thought it was funny because he said I hadn't been this disappointed since they canceled Martin when Statlander lost.
No, Stokely a funny nigga, bro.
He did say that. So I guess he's trying to get Statlander to join something. I don't know if it's some group, something to do with ROH. I'm not really 100% sure. So I just know she lost and Stokely wasn't happy about it.
Wow.
Hey, hold on. Can I ask you a question? It's just a second loss in a row that she had in front of Stokely. Cause did she lose against Sky Blue in front of Stokely? Like was it this past Wednesday?
Yeah, that's what made me ask, because that's the first time I ever saw them interacting, and I'm like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, because usually they got Willow and Statlander as a team, but I guess they just had them go against each other because it was New York or Long Island.
Yeah, was it friendly? Like, was the match friendly?
It was friendly. They shook hands and showed respect, so it's like a competition.
And what was it? Collision, I think it was. It was one of these shows that I did watch where on commentary they were like, "Yeah, Stokely, you're trying to drive a wedge between Willow and Statlander." I'm like, "Oh, is that happening?"
Right. It'd be so much. It'd be so many like team ups and this person is with this person, and then we don't even know half of the times like who was with who, why they with each other, like. Why is Stokely want to go after Chris now? What's going on? How he just decided, oh man, Chris gonna be my next person, to manage.
Yeah, AEW in a very dangerous position right now. They're getting on their Marvel tip where you got to watch other shows that got nothing to do with what's going on just so you can follow this. Like, I'm not watching Ring of Honor to figure out what's going on. Like, what?
Like, because I really don't even really kind of know what's going on or why they even have Stokely. So I'm trying to understand it. But it's like you said, they want you to watch every show. And I'm like, I'm not going to watch every show.
No.
So I guess it'll lead somewhere. So I'm not 100% sure where that's going to go. Next, they did show a Serena Deeb video package. Serena Deeb is coming back. It was a cold video package for her in a straight jacket and, going back into training. We haven't seen Deeb in, almost over a year now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently she had like some crazy injury where she was like suffering seizures or something. And that's why she's been gone so long, apparently. I mean, I know with the Lufisto thing that came out, a lot of ammo came at her head, and same thing with Red Velvet and Thunder Rosa and all that. But apparently, yeah, she's just been fucked up, and that's why we haven't seen her. So yeah, I'm mad happy that she's coming back.
Man, one of the best they got in the AEW company right now, as far as women wrestling.
She low key my favorite, and she has been for a while. So
Great technician.
I love Serena.
Hell of a technician.
Yes, hell of a technician, and that's the reason why I love the girl, because I love technical wrestling, and she does it the best. And when it comes down to women wrestling, she does it the very best out of all of them. So I'm like, man, I'm glad she back. Real talk.
Yes, because they definitely need some competition right now. Like they really do. So her being back really helps. Because the division right now has been very well. The division's been bad for a while, but they do need her though. So good to see her back. Also, they had a 20-man battle royale to get a shot at the TNT title. I honestly did not know who half the people were in there, other than Kill Switch and Lance Archer, which I forget he's still there, but most of the time I see him, he's in Japan. But the Top Flight and the Dark Order and Roppongi Vice, it's not much to say about this. Just a lot of, which funny, I thought it was a reverse battle royale because they start taking out tables and chairs out first. Like, why are they taking out? Why is everybody starting on the outside of the ring just to get in the ring?
Why we for a gimmick match? It's already a gimmick match. Why we need tables and chairs for it? It's already something. It's not a normal match. People want to be tuned in because it's a battle royal. So why you need tables and chairs?
I didn't understand that, and then, like, they buried Lance Archer in all of that, and we didn't even see him till almost later on in the match, where he started eliminating people. Then, because it's like all right, we're gonna beat him up first, and then he'll come back later on. And just like throughout this whole thing, I don't get Action Andretti with the water bottle now. I guess that's a thing, and
Yeah.
I just know the final four people was like Archer, Killswitch, Danhausen, and Trent Beretta. And
insane Final Four for Battle Royal.
and I think Danhausen eliminated Archer.
Danhausen eliminated Archer.
Yeah, I think it was either him and Beretta did it. It was mostly him by himself eliminating Archer.
Yeah, and then Beretta threw him out.
And Archer just go back to Japan for real talk. It seems like you ain't wanted here. Cause for you to get eliminated by Danhausen, go back to Japan. Stay there, don't ever come back.
He literally was just in Japan like this month.
Stay there, because it's clearly that you ain't wanted here. Because, like, for real, you ought to come back every now and then. You ought to come back as a body filler for a match. Oh, we need 10 guys, put in Lance Archer. Like, that's how he had treated her. And I'm like, just go somewhere else, man. You clearly they don't want you there, man. For real.
Yeah, didn't he start up a faction with the Righteous? Like, what happened to that? Not that
Yeah,
I give a damn, but like, what happened to that?
Jake Roberts, like what happened to Jake the Snake out there with him? I'm like what happened to that? Like that was a whole thing, and now that just kind of disappeared. I'll be honest, I'm surprised he's not even on the Wrestle Kingdom card coming up next week. At this point, they might as well just add him to that just because. Because like I feel like I liked him better over there in New Japan than I like him here. It's like he comes back, you'll see him one time, he'll just beat up some job guys, and then he'll disappear for like another few months.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is, too, boy. You hit it right on the money.
So it's whatever. But Kill Switch, he won. Not surprised.
Kill Switch. Who is Kill Switch, man? You keep on saying Kill
Luchasaurus,
Switch.
Luchasaurus,
Oh,
Luchasaurus.
oh, I forgot. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He keep on saying it too. I'm looking like Kill Switch. It's a nigga named Kill Switch. Why he in the Final Four, man? He sound new.
That's
Yeah, I'm
funny.
trying to go what they call him now, so it's not even
All right,
Luchasaurus, it's
cool.
Kill Switch now.
Hey,
All
even
right,
Christian forgot, so it's fine, bro.
yeah, my bad. I forgot all about that day. I was there for that promo too. Steven, I was there. I was
Yeah,
in the Weird Special Rita when that promo happened, when they changed his name. And I just totally forgot.
yeah, but
Oh,
that's gonna play on later, so we'll come back to that. And the final match of this pre-show was Wheeler Yuta versus Hook in an FTW rules match for the FTW title. Because I know they had Yuta like talk about Long Island and say it was a shithole
That was
until
such a
like
terrible promo. Oh my gosh.
that was so bad.
he's so bland. He is just bland.
Long Island sucks. Yeah.
He's got a
Yeah.
whiny voice, bro. And I actually like Yuta, but this nah, bro, this wasn't it. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but
Until Hook came out with a giant horn and playing his music then. Go ahead.
All right, my bad. Look, it's about Willer Yuta, and I finally found somebody who say he really likes Willer. All right, so Steven. So with Yuta, what is holding him back? If it's not his in-ring ability. In-ring ability is top notch. I think he's one of the best in there. But what is really that thing that holding him back from being at least a mid Carter?
uh I don't know, because I can think of two very specific instances where he got hella over with the crowd. One
Right,
when that match with Moxley happened and he got pretty much initiated into the Blackpool Combat Club. And then the
right.
second time when he was feuding with Daniel Garcia for the Pure title, both times he got over and nothing really came of any. I don't know. I mean, he became. I think what it is he eventually like we threw away all the character build and all that we did for him leading up to him joining the Blackpool Combat Club and all that he went through. We threw all that away when he just pretty much became their whipping boy. And once he pretty much became the job guy of the BCC, I think that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was
because
like, I really like Willer. Don't get me wrong. I always thought to myself, like back when he get initiated, I always thought they picked the wrong guy. I would have went for what's the name
Moriarty?
Garcia.
Oh,
Garcia.
Garcia.
Yeah,
oh,
I
yeah.
would have had him take the place of Euler. To be honest with you, because he seemed more gritty. You get what I'm saying? He seemed more gritty. He seemed more. If you could take away the fucking dancing, he seemed like a gritty guy. He seemed like he get down and dirty.
I agree. Yeah.
Except for like Will and Yuta, he looked like a cookie cutter baby face that you just that you just look at him like he don't look like a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? He don't look like that snake or that grimy that guy. So it was just kind of confusing why they picked him over Daniel Garcia. At around the time they were both getting good matches in on Rampage and Dynamite too at that time. But
I like that
yeah,
he's a different kind of heel for the BCC. Like they're all tough guys, but like Wheeler Yuta is like this little shit, as Danielson called him. Like he's this whiny little. Like he'll get in there and he'll tie you up and all that, but like as a character, like he's pretty much just yeah, he's that little nigga, bro. And that I mean that works for him because when him and Claudio were just coming out as a tag team, like I was really into it, man. And yeah, I don't know, it just he became the Bobby Fish of the group, but I don't really know why. Like,
why? Yeah,
he feels
yeah.
expendable, basically.
But
yeah, he's just there to take the fall for the group.
I think I know why though. When you have three established guys and you get what I'm saying. That's I think that's the reason why. Because you got Daniel Bryan, you got Claudio, and you got John Moxley. Those are three established guys, and most likely two of those three are like super main eventers. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
That's true.
It kind of overshadowed you a little bit, you know.
Maybe it would have benefited him if they kept like the ranks open and they added another guy for him to be a tag team with. And
Wait,
instead of, putting him in all these multi-man matches and stuff where he's just there to take the fall, like have
mm,
him and I don't know, Moriarty or Garcia, whoever, to be a tag team of the group so they can go after the tag titles and do a run that way as opposed to like what they're doing now. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I
right.
like Yuta, but they failed him creatively to not nobody cares, man.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. But yeah, the match with Hook, it was decent. Hook won, so I don't really got a lot to say about it. He retained the FTW belt, so
Man, I
that
was disappointed in this, bro, because what I don't remember what show it was, but we came on here before and they were like teasing that Hook and Yuta were going to have a match, and I was like, yeah, I'm into that because I thought we were going to get like a Hook in a Pure Rules match or something because they're
No,
both like catch
that,
wrestlers. I thought they were about to hit the mat and all that, but nah, they went the opposite direction and had a little fake ass hardcore match, and I'm like, nah,
that.
this ain't what you do with these dudes, bro. I wasn't into it, man.
FTW rules. So
That
like
was whack, bro.
I was kind of like whatever throughout all this in a way, and Hook won,
Kind of,
so like it is what it is.
I want a nitpick right quick. It's just a little nitpick, all right? It probably won't happen if it probably won't happen. But I would like to see a Hook match not commentated by his father. I don't know why. I just want a Hook match that not commentated by his father. I know it ain't gonna happen because his father is the main commentator. So it's just I don't know, man. It's just when I was listening to that match, it was like he did he didn't say anything like he wasn't fair. He wasn't being fair. I know that's his son and everything, but I need you to talk about both guys. You know what I'm saying? I need you to talk about how good both guys are. Not no, all right, my son this and this. Oh, Wheeler Yuta is all right. But my son this and this and this. So I'm like, wait, he is wrestling somebody. He not wrestling the broom out there, bro. You know? And so can we talk about the other man too? It's like that's just a dick pic. It really ain't no real big deal. It just I just do want to hear a Hook match without hearing Taz at the same time.
Maybe they run it back on Ring of Honor where like Yuta's like, all right, you bested me in your match, but try to best me in mine. And then they have a championship match on Ring of Honor and it's Caprice and Ian instead. I mean,
All right, it's gonna be well that, and then those who are I really do think those who are just man they doing their bogus. Caprice and Ian they doing a bogus, man. They need to be on somebody. I mean, now Ring of Honor they need to be at least on Rampage or something. You know what I'm saying? Like Ring of Honor is like nobody listens to it. You know, nobody really watches it like that.
That's true, and they're very good. I like both of those guys
Yeah,
on
they
commentary.
very good. They're very good, man.
Yeah, I wish they would they try to put. I know they put Ian on Collision a few times, but that's usually if Kevin Kelly's not there.
Yeah, I heard that Ian didn't want to do full-time commentary, and that's
I
why they didn't go with him. And I know
all right.
Caprice does commentary for DPW, so I mean, but I
Oh,
definitely agree that he should be because they're probably my favorite commentary team. Like they should be featured on tele. I mean, put them on the list of people who should be featured on TV more.
real talk. Real talk. Yeah, I would definitely love to hear them in WWE commentary. To be perfectly honest, though, because WWE commentary, I just tune them out most of the
Yeah,
time.
they're all terrible.
Yeah, I do be tuning them out sometime. It'd be like, okay, who's talking? Oh, what's his face? Vic Joseph? Is it Vic Joseph? Right? Oh, no, what's the
On
guy's name?
NXT.
No.
Yeah,
He's okay. The other guy on Raw, that's not good.
you mean Kevin
Um,
Patrick on
Yeah,
SmackDown?
yeah, he sucks.
he
Yeah, he
sucks.
does.
Absolutely, I'm like, no, I given him enough time. No, he's not really good. They literally have Cole and Graves there
Graves.
carrying him half the time.
Yeah,
And I said that like, there's no need for another 3-man booth. But I guess they need Cole to walk him through because even at the same time, I'm like, man, they could have just kept Cole on Raw and just have Graves carry him. But they tried that before and it didn't really work.
it
Even I
did
was like,
really good.
Even I was like, I'd rather hear JBL back on commentary because he was going in on him one time.
Ball game. Ball game.
Right on Friday nights, Maggle. JBL went in on him one time. He went in on Kevin Patrick. I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, can we just get JBL on commentary? I'd rather hear that. At least he's entertaining. I'd rather kept him. But let's move into the main part of this whole show now, to the actual pay-per-view. With the pre-show being done, we start off with an 8-man tag, basically from the Continental Classic participants, Bryan Danielson, Claudio, Mark Briscoe, and Daniel Garcia versus Brody King, Jay White, Jay Lethal, and Roosh.
I didn't even know this match was happening until it happened.
Last minute.
Why you do that to Daniel Bryan? And several other people in that match. Mark Briscoe, Daniel Bryan, Jay White. Why would you even give a match that nobody knows these guys are in the match? Nobody knows these guys in the match. Come on, man. Y'all doing yourself a disservice, man.
They did the same thing with Sting. This is Sting's last appearance in New York as a wrestler, and we got him announced for a match this week.
That's what half of these matches were. They were announced this week.
No forethought, man, at all.
This is your last pay-per-view of the year, people.
Also, like this whole match was literally just there to eat up time. That's all it was. Like
they ate up some major time too, bro.
It ate up 30 minutes literally of this show, and I guess they were trying to tell a story with several people, even with Garcia trying to get a win, and they got what's the guy? He was on commentary, Save Big Money at Menards there. He was there talking throughout the whole show, because I remember they had Brody King walk up to him and said, "You ain't gonna do shit. You a bitch." Like, that was just kind of out of nowhere, but it was funny at the same time. But it's like, this was a match. It wasn't bad, but it was a match to be a match on here with just people from the tournament.
Yeah,
And all it really did was what Garcia got the win, and it continues Jay Lethal's losing streak.
But see, that's why I didn't mind it, because it was, well, I'm not gonna say random, but it did come out of nowhere that they put this match on here. But they were telling like some stories in it to justify, its existence, like the whole Jay Lethal losing streak thing, the rivalry that's brewing now between Daniel Garcia and Brody King, Roosh is being that dude that's gonna kill everybody, and Claudio being the one on the team that's like, nah, I'm gonna kill you, bro. Like, no, we ain't doing that. And Danielson playing like coach and telling everybody what to do and all that. The little tease between Lethal and Mark Briscoe they keep doing. Like, I thought it was cool, and considering who was involved, I didn't mind that it went so long. But the problem with the match for me came in hindsight, where it felt like, just like Bryce said, it was a match to kill time on a show where a lot of matches felt like that. So like in a vacuum, I didn't mind it. I'm like, oh, this went like 25 minutes. I mean, you got a lot of main eventers in here, so sure. But then as the card went on and a lot of matches felt like, man, we just killing time. Like, now it makes it look more negative in hindsight. But as a match itself, I thought it was cool.
It just wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't a bad match. I just felt like it just ate up a lot of time, and it was just very last minute.
I felt like this two things. One, I agree with all the things y'all were saying. Every part y'all were saying, I straight up agree with, especially the part of the killing time, because it felt that way during the match, where I was trying to enjoy the match, because it got several of my guys in there that I like. But at the same time, I just felt like, man, why we having this match? And two, this the funny part. If you say it's an all-star battle, I mean all-star 8-man tag, why willing you would have in a, if it's an all-star, like, not saying he not an all-star, I'm talking about like as far as the tournament points and stuff like that. He didn't have any points until the last match. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought this match would probably be for guys who had 6 points or more. You know, Willa Yuta didn't have any points. Jay Lethal did it. He
mean Garcia?
Huh?
You mean Garcia?
My bad. Thank you for doing that, bro. Thank you.
Garcia barely didn't have any points to the end.
He beat Brody King, and then Jay Lethal didn't have any points ever.
Mark Briscoe only won one match, if I'm not mistaken.
Against
Right?
Jay
It's
Lethal,
like,
yeah.
so when I was just laughing at that part. It was a nitpick, but it was like, man, I thought they said all stars. They only had 3 points. He had 0. What go?
So
but
yeah, it's like a lot of these guys didn't have points, so it's kind of hard to call it an all-star thing at the same time. So look, because if you look at some of these guys' numbers, like a lot of these guys didn't get a lot of wins here. All right, so how is it an all-star thing? But it was just to get these guys on the card. I feel like at the last minute because they were all in the tournament.
yeah, yeah.
So like I said,
Like,
the 8-man was, it is what it is with the 8-man. I thought.
yeah, it
If I
was. It was just
remember, I'll say something about this match later on with a different match. So, if I remember, I might not.
Yeah. But let's move into the next part. Next was probably this man's last match in this company here, and probably will be back on Monday Night Raw by tomorrow. Andrade, since that's being reported by a lot of people in under the past 24 hours, going against Miro. Um, Once again, it's not really a lot of story to this, other than what Andrade, who was in this tournament, Miro, who's basically been mad because his wife is managing somebody else. CJ Perry hasn't even been around in the past couple weeks due to an infection in Mexico with her hand, so she just getting back. Also, I feel like the crowd didn't really was really into this, and I
no,
already
they
kind
were.
of figured they really was. It was a lot of matches they weren't into with this crowd. But I'm looking at this whole thing. It's like I already knew how this was really going to end up, especially if this is Andrade's last match. Which apparently,
Right.
yeah, I thought this. They said this on commentary. Apparently, this is what Andrade's first ever pay-per-view match, probably his last now. On this in this company, but I'm like, wait, he's finally just had a pay-per-view match now in this company. Like at this point now, and like I said, the match was what it was, but the whole thing was just, if you look at the whole story, it's just Miro getting jealous, and it ended up with CJ Perry turning on Andrade, and Miro ended up hitting the big, like thrust kick, and then the game over for the win. So I'm sure that was the right Andrade off, if that's his last night in the company.
Now, see, you said this match didn't have any story. The problem with this match is it had too many stories.
Well, it
They
was like
didn't pick
three
one,
different
man.
things going on.
Because this all started, right? Lana came, or CJ came into the company, and she wanted to be with Miro, but Miro was like, nah, all right, that's one. Then she's like, all right, if you're not going to let me rock with you, then I'm going to do my own thing. And he's like, all right, so that's another one. Then he's like, actually, I don't want you doing your own thing. I'm going to attack every dude that you manage. That's another thing. Then this Andrade thing happened. He's in the tournament. So that's what he's been doing. That's another thing. Now we circled back to this, right? And now we're like, actually, I don't want to fight you because you're being managed by my wife. I just want to fight you because you're an asshole. That's another thing. And I'm like, all right, what's the story here? like what are we actually what are we doing here in this match that I'm supposed to gravitate towards? Because one week Miro's like, my wife should be in the kitchen and having babies and stuff. Then the next week he's like, well, actually, that's fine that she wants to manage people, but just not this guy. And it's like, okay, like what's the motivation here? Who am I supposed to root for here? What's going on? On top of all that, this had like strong WrestleMania 20 vibes where neither one of these niggas wants to be here, and I'm supposed to buy into both of them in this one match together. One of them is actually leaving, foot out the door, and is he the baby face? I don't know, man. Like
A
this
lot of
is
convolution. A lot of convolution here.
yeah,
Hey,
I
and
don't. I just sat there watching this. Like, I don't care about any of this. Like I told you, like a week ago when they announced this, I said on paper this is a pretty cool match, but
yeah,
the way this has been built and all of that, the story, like this is stupid. Like,
yeah. I definitely agree with you, Steven. Real talk. Like, and then I want to piggyback on one thing you were saying. Both of them feeling like they don't want to be there. I I was about to agree with you when you were saying how you got to draw that one foot out the door already, and then I was gonna say, shoot, you got Miro. Probably his mind is not even there. To be perfectly honest, his
right.
mind is there. The body is there, but the mind is not. I could tell that about yesterday match. yesterday match, she was phoning it in. You could tell. I was like, my goodness, man, you ain't a good actor.
Ain't by no.
I could tell that you don't want to do this match. I could tell that you don't want to be here. It's like, man, you could just look at him and say, man, Miro don't want to be here.
I'm gonna
them
be.
niggas do.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm be honest here. Don't be surprised if this guy ends up back in the WWE soon.
WWE, I'm telling you, that match, real talk, last night match really let me know. Really let me know. And then Andrade, I can't really tell with him anyway. I think he one of those guys who just gonna, work the way he worked no matter what the situation is, and he just gonna do his thing. Hey, let me do my thing. Let me get up out of here. That's how I am. Let me go back with my manager over there. He's like, man, let me go back with Selena, man, for real. Yeah, well, that's where he should go. Real talk.
Yeah, he could end up in the LWO, possibly. I don't know, but yeah, he does need his manager back because they've gone through too many managers with him within AEW. And I look at his time in AEW because how long he had been in AEW? Like over a year or two now.
Probably 2 years.
2 years, I think.
And do you really think? Do you think his run, if this was his last, match here, was it good, or they just didn't really know what they were doing with him, kind of like the WWE?
No, he should have won the TNT title in that triple threat match. I'm gonna die on that hill, bro. It was
Yeah,
who was it in that match? Was it Sammy and
Darby.
Darby? He should have won that match, bro. I could not believe he didn't win that match, bro. And I'm still pissed he didn't, especially seeing what he's been doing since then. It's like, bro, come on, man. Just put the title on that nigga, bro. It's not that hard.
Can I
And they,
say one thing before we move on? I want to, man, see, when you keep on bringing up subjects that I want to talk about, and that's the crazy thing about it. The titles. Can I can I say this? I want to say that the titles in AEW don't feel like anything to get the people over. Especially like stuff like, all right, we got the TNT title, the TNT championship kind of it not being elevated. It's just being. I just feel like it's just a prop in a match with two superstars, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. I just feel like it's a prop because, to be honest with you, like, what these two former world heavyweight champions here, like, not in this company, but just period, and this is the title that they going for. That it make it feel like a prop to me, like the what the international championship. It's just there. I just feel like some of these titles don't elevate the person.
yeah, there's a lot of belts that are just there in AEW. I personally believe it's too many titles when you look at the AEW titles and the Ring of Honor titles also, or there's any other New Japan belts kind of, walking around too. It's a
Well,
lot of title belts.
I just feel like it just don't really do anything for the person.
I think it depends on one, who it is, and two, what they're doing in their current reign. Because, like, if you told me at the beginning of the year that MJF was going to be like the longest reigning world champion and we stopped it right at the Kenny Omega match, I would have been like, oh, cool. But then after that, when all this other stuff happened with the devil and all that, then I'm like, same thing with Christian. When Christian was on this run with the TNT title and he was doing all this stuff with Luchasaurus, I was like, yeah, this is great stuff. Then Edge
Right.
comes in and it's about that, and it's like, okay, y'all don't really need the title for this. When Orange Cassidy was on his 50 match run or whatever every week, I was like, okay, cool. It got a little ridiculous, but all right, that's what we're doing. Then he loses it to Moxley, and then he gets it right back, and I'm like, he ain't been doing nothing with this title, so we should have just gave it to somebody else who you planned on doing something with. And it's kind of that same thing over and over, this cycle with AEW and how Tony books his champions. It's like, yeah, it's great when they win the title, if it is, but yeah, we'll just say it's great when they win the title because it's a great moment, probably a great match, whatever. But then in the follow up in their actual reign, It's like there's no stories. And if there are stories, they're dragged out. They go too long. It's one story. It's the challenger of the week as opposed to like an actual thing. And it's like, I feel like on a whole, I agree with what you're saying, but I feel like it depends on the reign and who has the title. But right now, I definitely agree that that's kind of, with exception to Toni, and even Toni is like, her stories are challenger of the week right now, but her character is kind of carrying all of that. But yeah, I
and I
feel like across the board, all the championships definitely feel like what you're saying, especially all the tag team titles, bro. Like, what are we doing there?
It's a lot of tag. Well, look at Wardlow's TNT title reign. If you want to go there, how many times did he have the belt? 3 times, and they still barely could get it right.
I feel like with this though, it's like I'm like I definitely agree with you, Steven. That it does depend on the person and what they are doing in the current reign. But let me give you an example why I say that. All right, you just brought up the tag team champions, Ricky Stark, the Big Bill. Now, to be honest with you, you could, if it was any other scenario, I could see that tag team being super over because Ricky Starks is just that guy to me. I don't know why. It's just that guy to me, right? He stood out among like this 8-man tag. He stood out amongst a lot of big names, and he just stood out like a shiny star to me. I don't know why that title reign just feel lackluster. And then who they won it off of? It's like what? This is supposed to be a big deal. Like they beat FTR for God's sake. It's like, like why this don't feel big to me? And it just don't. It just don't.
It's like they got the belts, but do they really feel as big as they should be?
Well, if
Bingo.
you want to shoot, that's not even the tag title thing. That's how they've handled Ricky, man. Since like my man was in this high profile feud with Punk, and then Punk, did Punk, and so we moved over to Danielson, and Danielson elevated him to a main event level. And then what happened after that? Like that's why I'm like,
Nothing.
it's just the way my man be booking, bro. like,
It's just
it,
don't. But y'all feel what I'm saying? Like, man, FTR, one of the hottest tag teams in your company that had the belt, and then one of your new up and coming guys, both of them, as you ask me, because I really think you could do something with Big Bill too. You know what I'm saying? And I, it just don't feel like nothing. Like it just. I tend to forget that they tag team champions when they were getting introduced at the for the 8-man. They was like, hey, yo, AEW World Tag Team Champion. For real? I forgot. Oh, damn. I forgot they were tag team champions. It's like, I don't know, man. It's the old belts, all of them, except for the world title, because I know the world title means something because it's the world title. So it's automatically embedded in my head that if any day world title is, it got to be something main event or big level. But other than that, I just don't feel like none of these titles do anything.
You got a point though, because even like you said, I know we just talked about this a minute ago, but this does transition to the next match with the AEW Women's Championship of
Mm-hmm.
Toni Storm with what's the guy? Oh yeah, Luther Reigns. No wait, that's the wrong Luther. I mean Luther Vandross. No wait, that's the other wrong Luther.
Oh, you bet.
all right.
The bald Luther here.
This nigga doing bits. Sorry, bro.
Okay, my bad. But no, seriously though. This does transition to the next title match with Toni Storm versus Riho though. Once again, this is a challenger of the week type of thing. Cause this feud was probably started like what, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, because Riho returned and just kind of damn near immediately got a title shot after what, beating Paige and whatnot. I
Yeah,
don't
they try to sell that saying it was a number one contenders match, but neither one of them have been around doing anything to justify being in that match.
like none of them really happened. You know who they were really going for. I don't really care. I'm almost surprised this went. How long does this match? Almost 12 minutes out there. I just like I was just kind of waiting on Toni Storm to win at this point. I don't buy into this whole Riho thing, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna go on the whole size thing because it looks like a small child trying to beat up somebody and it's not working for a lot of people. Okay, like I literally was like tuning in and out of this match, just waiting on Toni Storm to win because she was gonna win, and everybody just likes this whole timeless gimmick, and because it looks like a Turner Classic broadcast movie or something from like the 20s or the 30s. Hello there. Good day to you, sir. Close up, Mr. DeVille. Close up, close up, close up. Tits out, tits out. With a very Australian British accent. So that's basically how this whole gimmick is going. Toni Storm won. It wasn't even with the Storm Zero. I don't know what she did, and it was some DDT like move which she won with. And then they had Mariah May come out there and like throw a whole bunch of rose petals or something with her celebrating. So I don't have really much to say about this match. Toni Storm won. It is what it is. This honestly felt like a waste of time because I don't think anybody buys into this Riho shit. There you
Nobody,
go.
huh?
Okay, all right, you then. Okay, I guess you buy it. Riho.
Nah. Look, man, you gotta be. You're kind of projecting, man. Like,
I haven't bought it to Riho for a while. Yeah, she was the first women's champion. I know that. History
I
is showing.
mean, I'm never going to tell anybody that they have to or can't like or dislike somebody. You do you, but for you to
Right.
say that nobody likes Riho, she blows, she looks like a kid in there, she should have never been in this position. Like, all right, bro, relax.
Did you buy into this match? Did you buy into this? Let me ask you this question. Did you buy into this match? Okay, that's why I didn't want to go into the size thing that much because that's usually a main play in all of this. But did you really buy into this whole match and feud? Did you buy into this?
Yeah, but that's not a Riho thing. That's the booking thing. That's not. It's not because Riho was here. That's why I felt that way. It's because they did nothing to build her up. That's not a Riho exclusive because that's all over this show. Well, the Swerve versus Dustin. I mean, come
We'll
on,
get into
man.
that.
The random 8-man tags. Like you're
Mhm.
presenting it like because it was Riho. That's why it felt like that. But like, nah, bro. It felt like that because she just showed up one week. She beat up Toni Storm. She got a number one contenders match against somebody who hasn't had a win in how long, and now we're here
Mhm.
at this match. Like that's why it felt like that. Like I'm just saying, don't project, bro. Like
Oh my god, this guy.
that's all I'm saying, bro. I, I like Riho enough. I mean, I'm not like a Riho guy or anything. I like her enough, but yeah, man, they did nothing at all to convince you that this was. And it's the same thing I've been saying every time we come on in one of these podcasts post show, man. If you had the forethought that you wanted to do the Riho match, you should have had her come back. You should have built her up. And I keep saying this over and over again, but obviously Tony's not listening to me. So he keeps doing it. And I'm just going to keep saying it, bro. Because you're not changing nothing. It's going to feel like this every single time, man. The same thing can be said about the match later on with Abadon. What did you do with Abadon to make me feel like she was going to beat Julia Hart leading up to this match?
That's another
Not a
challenge.
thing, bro. Like,
That's another challenge of the week.
they had the
I
nerve to
want.
give that match a video package when there's been no story, bro. Like,
Yeah. Where was the story with that? Both
Hey,
both
but
these
hire.
went.
Hey, I want to say
Honestly,
that about the video package. Hire that man because he still somewhat had me like thinking like, man, dang, they did all of this. Hire
oh, they
him.
strung it together for
Yeah,
sure, bro.
oh, they came up with
that
something to make
man
it look credible.
knows.
They came up with something. I would say this: both women's matches, both women title matches, there was literally not a lot of build. That nobody bought into the champions were ever gonna lose. Nobody bought the champions were ever gonna lose their titles on this pay-per-view, given who they were going against and the lack of build, especially for something that's either like 2-3 weeks or haven't been seen in God knows how long. And then we have to buy into so why well they could win, but how? We barely seen them. What have they done? What have they done? One just got back and the other one ain't been on TV. That's only used for Halloween.
See, that's real criticism, bro. That's not projecting. That's real
I wasn't
criticism.
projecting, but okay.
That's what I want, bro. Give me real
Whatever,
criticism.
I'm saying
But
I'm just telling
here's
what
the
it is.
thing. I will see it. All right, so I would like to be the person who agrees with both of y'all. Real talk. I would want to be the person in the middle. Cause I'm more towards Bryce though. You know what I'm saying? I'm more towards Bryce, but it's a different reason. So as I was watching the match this morning, really, as I was watching the match, Hasai did play with my head a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, discredit size because I seen a lot of matches where size can work in the advantage of a little person. Well, you would be a fan of Rey Mysterio if size did not play a factor in most of his matches, especially the WWE. But it's just I don't know. When I was looking at her, it was like I do need her to just at least put on Roxanne type of weight. Like just a little bit, not a lot. I ain't trying to say just alter your size and just become a different wrestler or anything like that, but it does play with my head a little bit, especially with the other person who don't know how to have a little man, big man matchup with Tony. I'm not saying Tony Storm don't know how to wrestle, but I'm just saying it's a different beast. Try to have a big man, little man matchup and make it look believable in front of the fans. So I'm not trying to fault her at all that she don't know how to do it. She just never had experience, a lot of experience with a big man, little man matchup, and this shows. Real talk, this shows that she didn't really, and it just didn't click. It just didn't click to me. It felt like they were just doing moves, and then when it needed to be transitioned to Rio do a little move to knock Tony off her butt. I mean, knock Tony on her butt, or knock Tony down, or do something. But it was just didn't click to me. For mostly Steven, I ain't gonna lie to you, it is the size that kind of plays the factor why it didn't click to me.
Truth be told, like funny enough, I didn't really like this match. I was just saying to Bryce,
I understand what you
look.
were saying, though. I know what you were saying, though, see, man. That's why I wanted you to hear what I'm gonna come from. Yeah, I know what you were saying. I know what you were saying. And I like how like, hey, we need to be more critical than more, you know, just pointing the finger. It's like, man, it got to be her. I think it's a lot of factors involved into why Rio is not really looked at as they want Rio to be.
Yeah, because I'm a big stickler. Like my favorite wrestlers are the ones I'm not going to say who make it look real, but you can tell the difference between those who do this and those who really do this. I always say that because you get somebody in there like Jamie Hayter who makes that shit look like she's
Ooh,
knocking
boy.
bitches out, bro. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's my favorite kind of wrestler. So that's why I say like I like Riho enough. Like I like she's fine or whatever, but like I'm not gonna come on here and tell you that Riho. I just said at the beginning of this, Serena D was like my favorite wrestler in the division because she ties you up and makes it look like she's gonna break you in half. Like
Mm-hmm.
so, me watching this match, I wasn't really feeling it either. I was just trying to keep it, subjective.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. See, I understood what you were saying. Don't get me wrong. But that's what I needed to say. The reason why I like the match, it wasn't really because I strictly don't like Rio. It ain't like that. No, no, not far from it. Because I don't really see enough of the girl to say, I don't like her. And they only bring her back sporadically for no apparent reason. Like why she was just thrown into this title picture. It just didn't make no sense. But it's just, yeah, I just feel like they, man, they need to, if they want Rio to have big man, little man matchups, they're gonna have to teach those girls, in that division how to have a big man, little man matchup so it can look good.
Yeah, I don't even think the biggest Riho supporter is ever going to go back and watch this match. Like,
Right.
This match, it was what it was, basically. It just was what it was, and Tony Storm won.
pretty much.
That's kind of it. But next, moving on. Oh, there's a lot to say about this one. A feud that goes on forever, and it looks like the match will never happen.
Oh
Swerve
gosh.
Strickland, who was supposed to go against Keith Lee, which was literally booked this week on Dynamite was canceled at the last second due to nagging injuries, I guess, with Keith Lee, and was replaced by Dustin Rhodes, which makes me question a lot of things throughout all this. One, why did you book this match? Two, this feud has gone on for over a year, which makes it basically trying to say, okay, folks, we're going to remind you this is still happening, even though we haven't done nothing in months with this. The match just doesn't happen. And here's the thing, if you knew Keith Lee was already hurt, why did you book this?
Exactly.
Why even make this match? That doesn't makes no sense. And it's like, who really cares at this point? This was last minute. They wanted to remind you. It's like, dude, this goes all the way back when they had Rick Ross on TV when this whole thing was going on. And then here's the thing with Dustin Rhodes too. Okay, let me get this straight. So you have Swerve immediately killed this man, looked like a vicious killer with a cinder block out there, destroying this man, like taking off his boot and like just killing his ankle, leg, but you want to go out there and now do another 15, 20-minute match and Dustin Rhodes is on the top rope just doing stuff? Like, I'm surprised it went this long. They should just had Swerve kill him and that was it. Or like my friend told me yesterday, they could have had Swerve kill Dustin, Keith tries to come out and do something, and then they could have Swerve just knock Keith down, and you just make him look like just like a vicious heel killer out there and go on from there. Not destroy the man's ankle and then go on for another 10-minute match without really having to sell a cinder block shot to the ankle leg. It's like, why did even we need to see this? Because I didn't even know, like, I was surprised when I heard this match even got changed. I knew this on the pre-show. I'm like, what happened to Keith Lee? Like, what do you mean he got replaced? And then they said it was nagging injuries. And it's like, then why make this to begin with? Why do any of all this to begin with? Was it to give sympathy for Dustin Rhodes or something in this match with the whole injury angle? Because that's where I was going for. But no, we're going to go out there and do another 10-minute match and act like nothing even happened. This felt like a waste of time in a way. And like, it's like I already just reiterated like a minute ago. Why do we even need to see Keith versus Swerve at this point? It's the match that will never happen. And it looks like it keeps going. We're going to book it. We're going to remind you that it's going to happen. But we'll go away for like 6 months and then just come back out of the blue. Like, watch, everybody will still care. Nobody really cares. The match should have happened 6 months. Hell, it should have happened a year ago. Nobody cares anymore. It's like, why are we even still talking about this? None of this made sense. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, you pretty much covered everything. But I will say this: the thing I was going to say earlier, I said I'd come back to it if I remembered. With that first match, they should have had that be like a 6-man or something, and then start a story with Swerve and somebody else during the tournament. Because you would think, right, that Toni had in mind already what he was going to have the finals be. So if he knew Swerve wasn't going to win this tournament, he should have been building a story in the tournament. So when we got to World's End, there would have been a match for Swerve with any one of those guys in that 8-man. And instead, we forced the issue with this Keith Lee thing for the last 2 weeks or whatever. And just like you said, if they knew he was hurt, then why even book that? Because nobody was thinking about that for like the last 6 months. Like they did it to themselves. Like, and it's not like this just snuck up on them. Like he said, he had this. He said it himself. It was like since what, like Arthur Ashe or something. He's been having this nagging injury, and he just couldn't fight through the pain anymore. And I'm like, okay, then go get that situated. Why are we even talking about this when nobody was talking about it? You should have known, Toni, that if he was hurt and Swerve wasn't going to win this tournament, that you had to have something else in mind for Swerve, because this is one of your hottest dudes right now, and putting him in a 10-minute death match with not a death match, but a death match with Dustin Rhodes is not how you capitalize on momentum, man. Any one of them Jay White could have had a rematch in that with like whatever the case. Swerve is like, well, I didn't lose. You the one that got pinned. And Jay White's like, well, fuck you, nigga. And then they start fighting. like you could have done anything else if you had the forethought that this was going to happen. Like that's where I was at as I was watching this. I wouldn't even like the injury thing was dumb. The Dustin injury, not the Keith Lee injury. The Dustin injury was dumb because you thought they were just doing that so that we wouldn't even have the match. And maybe they
Mm-hmm.
do a rematch on Wednesday or whatever they do. But for tonight, you thought he took him out. So that was that. But then Dustin starts selling on the ramp and he starts coming back and all that shit. And I told Bryce that I looked over to my dad. I'm like, watch this nigga just get in the ring and act like this didn't even happen and start doing top rope moves and shit. And that's exactly what happened, bro. I was just sitting there like, are you serious, bro? Like, I'm not. I swear, I'm not one of them old school heads that's like, and this is crazy because it's Dustin, but I'm not one of them old school heads who's like, you gotta sell, you gotta sell. But my guy, you just he stomped your friggin' ankle on a cinder block, like, and the next thing I know, you throwing hands with Swerve and doing top rope like, you gotta act like you give a damn, bro. Like, what are we doing here, man? This was such a waste of time. And it was at this point in the show where that in hindsight thought came to me about how long the 8-man tag went earlier, where I was like, oh, this whole show is starting to feel like this shit's just going along for the sake of it, man. Like, there's no reason this should have gone, and this could have only been like 7 minutes for all I know, but it definitely felt longer than that. Like,
It did. It did. And can I chime one more thing in on this? Can I just say that the people were cheering for the heel half the time, Swerve,
Oh my
because
goodness.
obviously the dance and all that. I know Kyle has told me this before. The minute you see Swerve, you see these white folks trying to dance and can't really dance when his music come on and stuff, and they're cheering him still throughout. And they even danced after the match. They start dancing after the match.
I mean, as soon as after the match breaks, I'm telling you, as soon as his music started coming on, you can see the person right there. It was like right there on the kill. He just got up and just started dancing. I was rolling. I was on the floor. I was on the floor for this most of this match, y'all. Real talk. And with y'all was just talking, I was away from the phone. My stomach was hurting. Y'all had me rolling so hard. I was away from this phone, man. Look. Because I would agree with everything y'all just said. Wait a second. So you gonna tell me? I thought it was an angle. I thought it was an angle. Real talk. I like. All right, cool. They gonna use this angle and, like Steven said, have a match in the near future. Whatever. It could have been on Dynamite. But at the same time, I thought it was done because this man stopped this man ankle with a center block. Like, it gotta be done, right? You can't do no more. Nah, man, we have another 15, almost 15-minute match with your hot star. That's one thing. With your hot star that should be at the main event level by the time, probably March, April, which 2024. That's how I look at it. But y'all kind of hurt him a little bit. Y'all kind of see where I'm coming from, right? I think that kind of hurt Swerve a little bit because you telling me that you couldn't take out the man that you already messed up you already beat him down in the beginning before the match with a center block, and you went 10 minutes with this guy. How we supposed to take this nigga serious after that?
it ain't
Like,
doing no
how?
favors, that's for sure.
That didn't do us some favors. I ain't saying we can't take him seriously no more. Other than that, and we gotta, start over the push. Nah, but that didn't, like Steven just said, it didn't do him any favors to go 10 minutes with a man he just stumped his ankle with a cinder block. Like it don't help him at all with that situation. And I just felt like that was just, oh, it was unnecessary. It was funny. Don't get me wrong, because I was rolling. I'm like, no, no, he did it. Did he just do a Canadian destroyer? No, he did not do a Canadian destroyer off of one ankle. I was on the floor throughout the whole match, bro. I was like, I could not believe what I was seeing. When, when they were talking to him, and I was like, you should have just saw my face as the referees and the medical staff talking to him. Oh man, you could go. No, he can't. No, he can't. No, y'all better not have him come back. Please don't let him come back. Talk about he could go. No,
Bro, the
he
medical
can't.
staff is hilarious, bro. Like, the
They
kayfabe medical staff is hilarious.
I promise you, even at the job, if my ankle would mess up, I don't think they would be like, "Oh, you can go load boxes again. Call here." With a one ankle, they not gonna let me do that. So I know damn well a multi-million-dollar company like a wrestling company would not let they person like, "Oh, you got a broken arm? Oh, you can go out there. Call here, one arm guy."
You got that.
You got it. Hey man, you it's all right. It's a flesh wound. You can get back in there and do it.
Right, you got stabbed in the kidney. Man, wrap that up. You good? Like what?
You
It's
good?
like why did that match even happen, bro? All this variables, what y'all was just saying, the something I ain't mentioned, like what y'all was saying, the Keith Lee Swerve thing been going on too long. Why did we just nip it in the bud? Why we even had a chance? Like the most of the fans forgot about it. We wasn't clamoring for it no more anyway. It was like, all right, cool, y'all didn't do the match, whatever. Let's move on with our lives. But nah, I guess they didn't move on with their lives because they like, we still gotta have this match. We gotta have this match, y'all. This is very important. I don't know why is it that important, but okay.
Yeah, this felt like a waste of time, and it was just there to be there. It was already a last minute match as it is, but then it even turned into a bigger last minute match, given who else was the replacement of that person. So this was just bad all over the place. That didn't make sense and didn't need to be on this pay per view. On pay per view of all things, too. On pay per view.
Man, I'm
So
just
Yeah.
so over this freaking lack of forethought, man. We just saw Keith, for those who saw the pay per view, this man Keith Lee's wrestling Shane Taylor at Final Battle, taking destroyers off the top rope. And I'm like, all right, if we're gonna do all that, like you can't just show up for this match with Swerve. Like, or if you couldn't, then maybe if we knew that's what we were gonna do, then you shouldn't have done that match and you should have saved all of that for this match, the actual AEW show that you're signed to. Like, it's just so annoying, man, because all this is so avoidable, but it's just like they I'm not even they, Tony just doesn't he don't have he needs to write this stuff down, man. Like
Yeah.
uh yeah, that was just it's so many like I said, so many variables that this could have went better, but no, this was a disaster. So this was bad. But next though, another 8-man tag match: Sting, Darby, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara versus Ricky Starks, Big Bill, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Konosuke Takeshita. I'm gonna just say this real quick, just to get rid of the meat and potatoes. Obviously, we all know the controversy of what's going on and all that with Chris Jericho, and you can see the crowd was 50-50 on it. The only thing I can say is this: it's vague. We don't really know a lot right now, and to the what we have seen, it's not much to really. It's just not much to go off on. We've already seen the stuff with Nick Hausman or him trying allegedly trying to what one up Jericho because they already got beef with each other. Because it's very dangerous rhetoric when you're trying to call someone the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling without that much
Ooh.
proof and whatnot. That was a very bold statement to make. I'm like, dude, you better have some proof
I
because that
heard
just
that
sounds
first.
like slander that could cause into a lawsuit on that guy and whatnot. And we don't know it all. And like I said, it's just best to wait till more evidence or information, if anything else comes out out of all this, or just let Kylie Ray say this on her own. Yes, she put a heart emoji up, and that could mean a lot of things, but at the same time, it's kind of like that's still not really saying a lot. It's insinuating, yes, it is, that something did happen, but I would at least say go with a statement than just playing riddles with a heart emoji or whatnot. And like I said, the only thing we really know is what allegedly Jericho tried to make a pass, and she said no, and that's kind of it. So I don't know, but in the court of public opinion of Twitter and looking at some of these people in the crowd, it's guilty until proven innocent nowadays. Nobody doesn't like to do due process or try to wape everything of all the information to come out. It's almost like you hear one thing, oh no, they did that shit, they guilty. What proof you got? At least show me something to the table, so I don't do the whole just fuck somebody because I'm like I don't know everything yet. I need to see everything first. And we saw with the crowd, we saw the NDA chants. We saw Kylie Ray chants and a few CM Punk chants towards the end of this match. So I don't know. Jericho is still on this card. He still did the match. So I don't know. And I don't know if I don't even think it was really discussed that much in the media scrum because I did watch some of it. The only other thing I can say in Jericho's case, some would say this is karma because he probably should have kept his fucking mouth shut during Christmas instead of arguing with lawyers about NDAs and all that. So that's all I really got to say about this whole thing. That's just separate from the match. So it's not going off a lot on than just being vague. As for the match itself, this felt like once again, this match was going on for the longest time. And we kind of spoke before this whole show. We started this review. This is supposed to be Sting's last time in New York, and it's not like it was really built up anything. First of all of this was booked this week. All these guys just returned out of nowhere. Sammy Guevara, which was gone from heel face to heel face, now he's back to a face again, which, by the way, he turned on Jericho like, what, 5 months ago? And joined Don Callis? Now he's with Jericho? Okay, maybe not 5 months. When was Grand Slam? September? Okay, maybe 3 months ago then. And Don Callis and them, we haven't seen them in God knows how long. They just happened to pop back. It's like everybody just started popping back out of nowhere. The Callis family, Guevara, Sting, and Darby, they all just show up from out of nowhere to do this 8-man tag, which a lot of it was botchy. It just felt like a waste of time. And they end up, pinning one of the tag team champions, Sammy. So I guess maybe Sammy and Jericho will still get a title shot because ain't no telling when Kenny Omega coming back, okay? This is supposed to be the Golden Jets going against Starks and Hobbs, but Kenny is going to be out for the foreseeable future, so we don't know what's about to happen. But this felt like a very long waste of time in a way. And this is another tag match that went on forever. So that's my take on both the match and the controversy.
This match perfectly encompassed everything wrong with AEW, man. For me, a match that went on way too long, no build, no story. The wrong guy got pinned. The wrong guys got over. People don't know how to react to half of these people. Like this perfectly encompassed everything I hate about AEW in one match. Like you said, man. And I don't know how much of this is because Kenny got, he's fucked up, so we had to pivot. But the fact that Sammy just turned on this dude like a couple months ago, and it doesn't even feel like that long because he was gone for a lot of it. So really, I mean, in storyline sense, he just did it because he hasn't been around. So the last thing we saw him do was turn on Chris Jericho, and Sting and Darby were feuding with him and Jericho. And now they're all of a sudden on the same side, and Jericho's got all this controversy surrounding him. And Sammy, people don't know how to react to him because he was just heel feuding with the guy he's tag teaming with now. And Don Callis's family haven't even really been on TV, and Hobbs and Konosuke haven't been doing anything. And Ricky, people like Ricky, but he's in this tag team thing with Big Bill that's going nowhere because they're challengers who shouldn't even have been their challengers are null and void. And before that, they hadn't had anything going on. And it's just like this match is for lack of a better term, this is dog shit. Like I hated everything about this. And then Ricky got pinned, bro. Like, just throw this in the bin, dog. Like, this is where I just had it with this show, man. I was like, they're gonna have to do some real magic with this next match to get me back for this, because this was terrible, man. And like you said, man, the fact that there's the word again, forethought. The fact that this was going to be Sting's last match in New York and we had nothing for him. He probably wasn't even going to be here for real. And then they just threw it together last minute because of the Kenny thing or whatever. And maybe that's why the match was so whatever, because they had to get all this together last minute. But it's just like man, y'all pros, bro. Like that's not my job to help y'all get it together. Man. Like, if y'all can't get it together, y'all can't get it together. And I just sat there watching this like, is this almost over? Okay.
This went on for a while. Like, controversy aside, a lot of this was a mess.
Bro, that's what I said to Kyle before we even started this. I'm like, yeah, everybody's on this get Chris Jericho out of here train because of all of what just happened yesterday. But to keep it a bean, bro, he hasn't been involved in anything interesting in like 2 years, bro. Like this man, and I can't believe Ricky got sucked back into the Jericho vortex again. Like
Mm-hmm.
for like 2 years now, this man has been doing nothing but garbage on my television. And now all of a sudden, no disrespect to Kylie Ray, but now all of a sudden people are like, actually, get Chris Jericho out of here. I'm like, nah, bro. Y'all should have been got him out of here, bro. Go tour or something, bro. Like,
Yeah, it's like y'all going off of one allegation and just believe it right off the bat without that much proof, and you believe some dirt sheet writer that just happened to say it because he had beef with Jericho already and wanted to one up him.
now, see, that's not what I'm saying.
But that
Don't piggyback on me saying that. I didn't say that. I'm saying that creatively, this man has been bankrupt for a very long time. And
Yeah.
so that's my problem with what's going on. Strictly on TV, this
Yeah.
man has not been interesting. He hasn't put anybody over in a way that's substantial. Nothing, man. And that when people call him a charisma vacuum or a momentum vampire, like I feel you, bro. Because anybody who gets close to this man, people
he's
forget that this Adam Cole thing with Jericho happened this year, and it wasn't until Adam Cole moved to the MJF stuff that he got back where he needed to be. It's like, bro, anything Jericho touches in the last 2 years has been just garbage, bro.
and let's remember too, like didn't Jericho beat Sammy Guevara anyways when they had that one-on-one and tried to recreate WrestleMania 19 with like when it was him versus Shawn? They tried to literally
Yes,
do that
and
whole
he shouldn't
they
have.
literally did that whole match and the after of it too. Like they recreated the whole thing. And like Jericho went over and I was so confused why they even did that.
Garbage, bro.
It
Terrible.
like just like from a creative standpoint, yeah, a lot of it just hasn't made sense. And whatever feud they kind of put Jericho in, a lot of it is not really good. Or maybe he'll create another faction. Like, dude, this guy was he the Ring of Honor champion not that long ago too? So it's like I don't know. And even with this Golden Jets thing, it wasn't all that. And this was before Omega got hurt. Like come on, we go back how horrible that segment was when they had that promo battle with Starks, Hobbs, and Jericho and Kenny. We saw how bad that went.
Exactly, bro. Like I know everybody's on the fuck Chris Jericho train now, no pun intended. But
Jump
like
to
my
conclusion.
guy, before that, it was like what are we doing with Jericho, man? I was watching Steven Larson, and Larson said, you know, the one thing that Jericho did better than anybody else when he was in WWE, he knew when it was the time to leave before he
Yeah.
got stale, and then would come back. But in this AEW run, he's just here, man. And I feel like he's creatively exhausted or whatever it is, but he hasn't gone anywhere and nothing he's doing is good.
Some would say he's like the Hulk Hogan of WCW from a politics standpoint.
I would like to say this about the match and Chris Jericho. First off, the match. This how bad the match was to me. Now it wasn't bad to the point in like man because all these guys that we know in this match they could all go no matter what. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I wasn't even paying attention to this match to the point that I was just playing. I was playing old school Sonic, and I played like 1,000 times already, and I wasn't even paying attention to that either. I was like, man, this match is not it. Near the Chris Jericho thing. When you were just saying, Steven, what we were talking about, I said I've been out the Chris Jericho train for a long time now. Man, I don't know what the train is. Like I've been left the train. I've been left the train station. It's done. I don't. It's just Chris Jericho haven't been interested to me since he was since his world title run, and that was it. Since his AEW world title run, that's the last interesting thing that he done with me to me. Like anything else, I'm like, man, the MJF suck. The several times with Sammy suck. And like Ricky Starks suck. And to try to get a Action Andrade over
Oh
suck.
yeah,
All
whatever.
that, all that sucks, bro. It all involved him. We can laugh at Action Andrade like, oh my God, you not over as you were supposed to. But no. No, he got. First of all, it was just too soon. He was not supposed to be nobody like Chris Jericho. That was just too soon for the man. And Chris Jericho know that. But Chris wanted to that was around that time. Remember, that's around the time everybody kept on calling him a charisma vacuum. That was when it really was going hard at that time. It was that was right after the Ricky Starks feud. And he wanted to prove everybody that he not that charisma vacuum guy. Look, I just got this guy over who we don't even know. It was like, no, Chris Jericho, you did him a disservice. Because guess what? Everybody else he beat after you is nobody. Like, no, like you just did the man a disservice. You hurt the man's career. And like, no. I don't know, man. It didn't need me to hear this stuff from what Chris Jericho allegedly doing. I ain't need to hear this stuff to be off the train because I was already off the train.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, so yeah, this match was honestly whatever. It was all over the place. It was very bad. And it's like, okay, well, Sting can take a bow in front of everybody and whatnot. One thing my friend told me last night, like, he's like, Sting is damn no. He said Sting's like almost 100 and he moves like he's 20 something out there. I go back with Steven and say, like, don't ever let nobody tell you that Sting is not that nigga. Like, he's still that dude. Like, that's one thing I can take from that. But no, this whole match was bad. This was very, very bad. So, this is a rough show. Next.
I'm saying, bro, all this was in a row. That's why I was just like, yeah.
Well, we got another one to add. Let's add another one then, especially with this crowd, too, of how they've been falling off. Julia Hart versus Abadon for the TBS title. Honestly, this match probably should have been on Rampage or something. And the only thing to take is this, the crowd chanted, "This is spooky," because you got two people that basically look like it's Halloween out there. One is supposedly a zombie, and the other one is a witch doctor. I don't have really much to say about this. This just was whatever to me. You said it's not a lot like the whole story that they building maybe 2-3 weeks of with Abadon trying to become a challenger now. Like, we barely even see Abadon. And the only time we really do see Abadon is when it's Halloween. And even when they announced this match was happening, like what was on Collision maybe a week or two ago, most of that was focused on Thunder Rosa's big return, then talking about Abadon and Julia Hart and all of that. So I honestly was in and out of this match. I just know Sky Blue got involved and knocked Abadon off the top rope or something. And then Julia Hart did a moonsault, which looked like she missed damn near half. Like, she landed it, but it looked like she even barely hit Abadon. So it's like, once again, this is where the crowd was pretty dead for this. And this is another challenger of the week match. It's like I could drop a pin during that match. That's how quiet a lot of the crowd was, other than the This Is Spooky match. This should have been on Rampage.
This match for me validated a lot of things that I felt. So I kind of liked it for that reason, although I didn't like this match at all. But I love the fact that all this time I've been saying I'm not a Julia Hart hater, but people have just been on the Julia Hart train just because. And when she hasn't had good matches, and when she's put in a position like this, a pay-per-view title match, y'all not making any noise. So is she over or is she not? Because if she was as over as y'all keep telling me, not y'all two, but you know what I mean. Like, if she's as over as y'all keep saying, then people would be hyped for her matches, right? People would be invested in what she's doing, no matter who she's going against, right? This is the young prodigy, Julia Hart, that everybody was telling me is coming up. And I'm like, okay, where is it at, bro? Y'all quiet during this match for all y'all was saying about this Julia Hart, how great she's gotten in the ring and how amazing her theme song and her presentation is, but y'all don't care when that bell rings, so it's okay. Then on the other hand, it's like I've been a strong proponent saying spooky stuff is stupid. It doesn't belong in wrestling, especially not AEW. And what happened? The first thing we see between these two spooky characters is them do a collar and elbow tie up. Come on now. Like, She's a zombie. She's into Satan or whatever. But we're gonna follow the rules of wrestling. Do a collar elbow tie up, bro. Like, get this garbage off of my screen, man. It ain't for me, bro. But I felt very validated as I was watching it. So, I was happy at the end of it because I was like, yeah, this was ass, bro. And I knew it would be, bro.
What do you think about them? Just to add real quick, Steve, what do you think about them putting Sky Blue with Julia Hart? Like now it's dark Sky Blue, and they've kind of given her like a whole bunch of new stuff with Julia Hart gear and all.
I mean,
that.
is she supposed to be spooky? Because she just comes off like a mean girl. Like she got poisoned by Julia Hart to be a mean girl. Like she's not doing spooky stuff. She just started wearing black and started showing her ass more. Now she's supposed to be spooky. Like, like okay, does that make her more of a threat in the ring? Like,
yeah, man, it's showing a little bit more cheeks. Everybody gonna be scared.
makes her more aerodynamic. Like, what are we doing here, bro?
Hey, the wedgie, they gotta make sure that wedgie goes in. They really gotta pull that wedgie up real high.
I mean, she cool, but that has nothing to do with how she is as a wrestler. That's my problem, bro. Well, all it is, people like the wrong things, bro, because as soon as the bell rings, you don't care. So that's why every time they hit me with the Sky Blue is getting better in the ring and this and that, it's like, all right, but is she really like, do you really like her because she's good, or do you like her because you're trying to smash? Like, because when the bell rings, you don't care. So what is it, bro? Like, I don't know. But
What I say the other day? What I say when we was at work the other day? What did I say, Steven? It was like you were there when me and Bryce were talking or something, bro. I swear you was in the same conversation because you said everything else, everything that I said. You said everything that I said that day. I'm like, she not getting better. Right? I turned from her matches on purpose. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it because you're not gonna get me. I see. For a little context, before I go into what I'm about to say about this girl. See, I was never one of those guys. Even back in the day when I was a teenager or something, and they was trying to appeal to me with the bra and panty matches and stuff like that. I never liked that stuff. I don't know if I ever told y'all that before, but I never did. I wanted real legit wrestling. I ain't want to see two women rolling on the ground, what hair whipping. Like no, I got a computer if I want to go to. You know what I'm saying? I got a computer for that. I
that's
don't
facts,
need
bro.
I don't need WWE to try to fulfill my pleasures by showing me this. No, show me some wrestling. That's why I want. That's why I watch this match for. I ain't watching football to go see the cheerleaders. No, it's like I watch wrestling for wrestling. So give me that. And so fast forward to now. This how it feels, bro. It feels like we're going back to that era. You know what I'm saying? Not no broad panties, not like that because people will get upset with that. But they try to subtly put people back on the TV that really don't have the wrestling credentials to be on TV. When you got a whole bunch of them in the back, Serena Deebs in the other world, they in the back. They could be good champions and put on good matches, but no, who want me to watch Sky Blue because she got a little cheeks? No, I don't want to watch Sky Blue. I want to watch Serena Deeb. Give me her. I don't want to. I don't care about Julia Hart. They can lie to me all they want because they know they lying through their teeth when they tell me that Julia Hart is getting better. They lying. I went to sleep on that match this morning. I did. That's the last match. Remember, I told y'all that. That was the last match that I saw this morning. What their match? I went to sleep. It was done. I was like, she not getting better. Sky Blue not getting better. Like they can lie through their teeth all they want. They just want to see these girls on TV, man. That's all. They just want to see cheeks on TV and a pretty face because I don't think Julia have any cheeks. I don't know. So I barely pay attention to the girl. Real talk. I think she just a pretty face. Like for real. Like I don't understand. I just don't like it. I really feel like we're going back to that era again, man. AEW mostly. I don't think WWE. Well, you can see the people that they got on TV, but I think AEW going back to that little era. Like just having pretty faces, you know.
And the problem with like the Sky Blues and stuff, and this pod is probably gonna get us all canceled, but that's fine. But
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 yes,
the problem with the Sky Blues is you have women now. Like I'm a Serena, like regardless of attraction, I'm a Serena D fan, like I said, because I think she's dope. But you do have women now who cross that line, who are like conventionally attractive or whatever, but are also dope in the ring. Like your Tiffany Strattons or shoot, like whoever else, like they still do that. They still wear that, but they actually can go in the ring. So it's like when you present me somebody like this for that reason, it's like, but
Mhm.
what else does she bring to the table, bro? Like we already here now. We got our Sasha Bankses and those out here who pretty but can still work, bro. So
What?
like what does she do that I don't already get better somewhere else, bro? And don't tell me it's because she's showing cheek, bro. Because that don't do nothing, bro.
I
This
was
ain't
just telling them,
MTV. This is wrestling.
yeah.
I was just telling Bryce and me and Bryce boy at the job. We was all talking, and I was like, man, have y'all ever seen Mariah May get down? And I don't know if
No,
y'all answer me. I don't know if y'all answer me yes or no, but I did. You know what I'm saying? Mariah May can get down. And I swear she can. And ain't no ifs and buts about it. I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes. It was like this girl. I just thought she was just a pretty face. I was like, oh man, she just one of those little Barbie doll type. She ain't gonna do anything. Man, when I see her go in the ring, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why we ain't got her? Why we ain't got her on TV wrestling right now? When she gonna have her first match at Dynamite on next week? But still, I'm like, if you were gonna do that, use her then.
Good
That's
point.
like because she can get down real talk. I can't wait to see her on Wednesday. And 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 when you like Steven said, you when you present me somebody like Sky Blue, which when we already seen the Sasha Banks of the world, we already seen, even to be honest with you, like man, to be honest with you, Selena even wrestle better than her. I don't know. It says Selena Vega wrestle better than her. Real talk to me. I was just saying, like, I don't know. She just pointless. She just
Now
pointless.
you made some points though.
she said, damn.
Nah, you made some points though. So I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of stuff is true. It's like, what do people really want to see? Like, are you here to see it because she's good, or you just want to see cake? And cake can only go so far.
Right, yes, because there's plenty of it. That's why it only goes so far.
A lot walking around, but it only goes so far.
Bro, Shawn Michaels is breeding cake in the lab right now, bro. I'm seeing all these people coming up who are actually like getting good in the ring, but they're all caked up. And I'm like, I don't know where this man is finding all these women.
Yeah, I'm definitely agree with you, man. It's like it's
Definitely.
so many girls that caked up that can go. I don't need to see her. I don't need to see Sky Blue. That's my whole thing. Yeah, if she would actually get it better, and then I can actually see it, I'm like, all right, cool. She get it better. That's good. I like to see things like that, but I don't. I just don't.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
So yeah, that's the best way to really put it though. So yeah, I this match honestly was whatever, and like I say, it should have probably been on Rampage. But let's move on to the next thing. TNT title on the line. Edge versus Christian in a no DQ match. You had Nick Wayne, Shayna Wayne. You didn't have Marlon and Sean out there, but I know it's a lot of Wayne's brothers out here nowadays. But but no, this
Nigga, that's
match.
Wayne's. This man over here. Not
Okay, okay, all
Wayne's,
right.
bro.
But no, honestly, I thought this was the best match out of the night. I thought this woke the crowd up. This is where the crowd actually got loud again and was interested in this whole show. This
Yeah.
was a massive brawl. Edge coming out, what, in his WrestleMania 22 jacket when he went against Mick Foley. It was a lot of crazy stuff in this match. Them going into the crowd, Edge jumping off the guardrail. Yeah, chair shots being thrown at people's heads. kendo sticks, Edge bleeding, trying to name everything that happened to this. Just a lot of just wild stuff in there. Even almost had some concertos in this, but it didn't happen. But even Edge doing that whole metal rod thing where he puts somebody in a crossface and, like, tries to choke him with it. It was a lot of wild stuff in this match. Like, definitely wild. I like the spear through the table though, because like Edge threw like chairs at Christian's head and just speared him into it. Obviously Nick Wayne and Shayna Wayne kept getting involved. I know Nick Wayne did something with with the table. I think he was trying to do like a cutter, but he kind of missed. I thought he like they both hit like the edge of the table. I almost thought somebody got injured right there, but it was a lot of wild stuff. But then the fire, the table, and they used a lot of lighter fluid, and I mean a lot of lighter fluid, just to even keep this table with fire and whatnot to keep going. And it ended up with Edge power bombing Nick Wayne, which he looked like he missed most of it anyway, so he only hit probably a small portion of the table. That could have went way bad than it could have been, but they hit some part of that table, and Shayna Wayne's trying to check on him, and Edge he ended up hitting the kill switch and win the match, becoming a new TNT champion. And then when Edge won, the actual kill switch showed up, attacked him, cashing in like this is Money in the Bank, the title shot and whatnot, gives it to Christian, and then Christian hits a spear and recaptures the TNT title. And so Edge was champion for a minute and a half until Christian won it right back. This was a wild match. In my opinion, I thought it was the best thing damn near on this show of how crazy it was. But it's one thing we did talk about earlier. You look at both of these guys who have been former world champions, main event guys, this title is beneath them. Don't get me wrong, Christian has elevated this TNT title to a whole different level nowadays because it's probably the best thing they've had in a while. But honestly, I would rather see these two fight for the world championship if that was the case than the TNT title. But this was a wild and crazy match all over the place. Just crazy stuff.
I actually prefer them fighting for the TNT title, honestly, because you don't want to turn this into TNA where it's like you got your old WWE guys fighting for your world title. Nah, like it's cool that guys like MJF are the ones, and even like a Samoa Joe to an extent, but I mean like the young guys are the ones going for the world title. It's just their job to elevate it to make it feel like it should be main eventing over the TNT title. But I agree that this was the match in the night, even though I'm dubbed a perpetual Edge hater. I did think this was the best thing I saw on the show, albeit I thought it went too long, as all Edge matches do. But by the end of it, I thought it was cool.
Minutes.
Huh?
It went 25 minutes.
Yeah, it felt like it went 25 minutes. like, like I don't just say long matches are too long because they're long matches. If I at any point during the match I'm like, all right now, and looking at the clock, that means this match is going too long, bro. Like I still enjoyed myself, but I'd be remiss if I wasn't like, yeah, but this didn't need to go 25 minutes, Edge. Like, because it for sure didn't, bro.
Well, what about the whole Money in the Bank cash-in thing? What y'all think about that?
See, I don't know if they've established that you can do that. So I don't even really know how I feel about that. Because when have we seen in AEW somebody win a battle royal for a title shot and then the same match, quote unquote, cash it in? Like I don't think we've ever seen that. So the fact they just did it for this is just like, all right, we're not really following the rules of our own universe that we've established. Because I don't think I've ever seen that they've done that. Even when they've done the casino battle royals with jokers and all that, they still like do it on the next Dynamite or something. So, I mean, it was a means to an end just to keep this going for those who want to keep it going. but, but I don't know. Like I can't say I was really a fan of it, but I mean, if you're somebody who's like this must continue, I'm sure you were all over this. So,
I know I didn't watch the match. I know I didn't watch the match. I just want y'all to walk with me to this Money in the Bank thing. Y'all just talking about like what happened because y'all kind of dancing around it because y'all watched it. So y'all talk to each other as if y'all both have seen it. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. But walk me as the person who didn't see it. What happened? Like what went down? Why did Christian get another shot at the title, and why did Christian win win the title back?
Basically, it's like this because Killswitch was gonna cash in his title shot to go against Edge, but Christian basically like, you need to give this to me. This is mine. Like, give it to me. And I guess he whispered something in the Killswitch's ear, and then like he just hung his head down and just handed Christian a title shot, and Christian signed it and handed it to the referee, which immediately made another title match with Edge and Christian. And Christian, he speared him and he regained the title.
All right, so I want to say something on that. That's total BS. What is going on here? So tell y'all, like Steven just said. Now I get what you said. You don't even follow the rules in your own universe. Because when did this ever happen in AEW TV that we just instantly get a title shot after a signed contract? Like, when did that ever happen? And so now you telling me because this feud should have been ended tonight. For real. I mean, last night. Real talk. I don't want to see no more. I'm not one of those people. See, real talk. I'm not. I'm not one of those people. They should have ended it last night because now it's about to go too far. And now back to them. Why did they have that happen? Like, if you wanted Christian to retain the title, have Nick Wayne come out, interfere, do something, hit him with the steel chair, something.
Let me not to cut you off, but yeah, Nick Wayne was out there helping him. Like, Nick and Shayna Wayne were already out there helping Christian and got involved by knocking the referee, making sure he didn't count, or like pulling somebody out of the ring. Or Nick Wayne was attacking Edge throughout the match. So Nick and Shayna Wayne did get involved throughout this match though, to stop Edge from winning.
Yeah, but his point is that should have just been the finish, though. Like, if
Right,
Christian was walking away, with the title, then they should have just had to keep Edge strong, just have like interference and him cost him the match.
That's it. And that's it. Then you didn't need all this convoluted stuff. So now what I'm hearing from the both of y'all telling me that this was the best match of the night, but it still has some major flaws in it that you could pick through. And that sums up the whole pay-per-view then. If you ask me, because I know what happened at the end, don't get me wrong. I know what happened at the main event, but this all sums up the whole pay-per-view. And you probably have some good in it, but the good even has some major flaws. And that's all world seeing right there. If you just sums it up. Like,
Yeah.
my goodness, why you just could have just ended it just like that, man. Interference, title shot to the head, steel chair, something, low blow. What you had a plethora of things to do. Why did you choose that?
Yeah, because if the end game of this is for Edge to win the title, when you didn't want to do it now, and you do a rematch to get him back to where he can get a title shot and win the championship, he could have still just been screwed, like you said. Like, you didn't need to do all this other stuff. And then, I mean, what? He can't just win the number one contenders match to get a rematch? Like, why did we have to do this? Like, or just have him win. Like, who cares? Like, just have him win the belt. And you could have still did the thing where Christian demands Luchasaurus give him his contract and do the match later on. Like, why did we have to? Maybe they thought it takes away from Joe winning at the end of the, like, nigga, who cares? Like,
Right.
So what?
Oh my goodness, bro. Y'all just, man, y'all do too much, man. Yeah, y'all go around the corner just across the street. Like, man, what is wrong with y'all?
It was a lot that was all over the place. I feel like it's been too many people involved in this feud anyways, but the way this match was, especially once the whole cash-in thing happened, I was like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, why did we do this? Like, why? It's like, I don't get it. And even adding what Nick Wayne's mom, Shayna Wayne, I like we all knew what was gonna happen. It was coming a mile away of how she got involved, but I'm starting to wonder like what a factor does she really add into all of this now? Because I don't want to hear on the microphone again. I don't want to hear that after what happened last time.
Yeah, I don't know what the end game for all this is because it's not like they're going to bring Beth in to fight her. So it's like, what? I don't know what the point of this. Like, I mean, storyline wise, it made sense for her to get involved, considering Edge trying to kill her son. But at the end of the day, like, is she going to take a spear or something? Like, what are we doing here, man? Because this obviously has to have an end game, or she's just going to go away and without any, without any consequence, and that's just going to be it.
Because all she really did was just
I
walk
can
around.
though if you want. If that happened, Steven, she can just go away. I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be sad about it.
Yeah,
She just whisper her away.
most of the time she really did out there was just kind of walk around, stand, and check on Nick Wayne to see if he wasn't hurt. That's all she really did. She just was just kind of around. She was just kind of standing there to look good.
I think it was a mistake to actually make her a part of the act. Like, it's one thing for her to cost Edge that other match because he tried to kill Nick Wayne, but it's another for her to join Christian and be like a part of his little Christian family or whatever. Like, I don't think you needed to do that because, like I said, like this isn't going to lead to anything unless Edge recruits a woman in his group, but she's not a wrestler, so why would you even do that?
Why
Like,
you would even do that? Right. I would hate to see that, Steven. Real talk. I would definitely hate to see that.
Because I'm wondering what they had before. Like they already had Christian talk down to her, and now it's like, all right, I'm in the group now. Yeah, you talked about my dead husband and said I worked at a Waffle House and all of that, but yeah, we're all cool now.
well, she worked at Waffle House. Maybe she got hands. Maybe Ed should recruit somebody. Now that I think about it,
Like I don't know. I honestly don't know. So this was just kind of all over the place. Dude, my friend even told me last night. He said like, dude, Ed should have stayed at Judgment Day because some of this shit don't make no sense.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know about all that, but you're right.
I don't know about all
definitely. But I definitely want to say one thing, and I've been saying this to you for the longest, Bryce. I don't know how many times I'm gonna tell you. Christian, that the title is not elevated. Christian is just elevated. Christian is on a whole new level. That title don't mean a lickety squat. I don't want to cuss right now, but that don't mean nothing. Real talk. That title still don't mean nothing. Christian is the guy. That title is just a prop on his shoulder right now, just to make him look even better right now. But other than that, Christian is that guy. Christian is cutting the good promos. Christian is having these decent matches. I just I don't think that title, if that title goes on somebody else, that title goes right back to how you were thinking about that title when Sammy Guevara was holding it, when Warlord was holding it. It gonna go right back to that spot. But now it's on Christian, and because Christian is that guy. It nothing to do with that damn title. Real talk. It really don't.
Christian's just the man, basically. But I feel like this is just gonna go into. I honestly feel like this will be a cage match by the next pay-per-view. I feel like that's gonna happen now because this damn near shit. The crowd chanting TLC during this match, so I see a cage match happening next. So this is gonna continue. But next we move on to the finals of the Continental Classic Tournament. Bryan Danielson was on commentary for Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston for the Ring of Honor New Japan Strong Openweight Championship and Continental title, which let me say this about this whole tournament. And Kyle, you told me this before, especially when it comes to Tony. It's like Tony made this tournament because he could make matches and not really book any storylines to a lot of this. It was just matches. Because it's almost like this tournament's been going on for a month. Everybody's basically had damn near a 15, 20-minute match, and damn near every show when you look at it. Don't get me wrong, the matches have been really good, but it kind of makes you wonder, like, what were they really fighting for here? Especially for 3 championship belts, 2 of them that we barely even, do they really even matter to AEW in a way? I could see if all these guys are fighting for a world title shot, because this is basically like the G1 and whatnot, except it's not for a world title shot. Like, we're doing this for the ROH title, which how many really people really care about Ring of Honor in general? The New Japan Strong Openweight title, which, you know, it's like how many people care about that too, and a belt that we never even seen before. We've already said it's too many title belts within this company. And Steven, you kind of told me this before. Eddie Kingston, let's remember, this dude was going to defend the titles throughout every match throughout this whole tournament. But then Tony decided, like, no, we're just going to do the tournament and everybody will win all the titles in the end. I'm not even really surprised Eddie made it kind of to the end of this whole thing, because he was already, like, he's not just going to lose the Ring of Honor and New Japan Strong Openweight title like that in a tournament and just get eliminated. It would have been interesting, yeah, but it kind of told me he was going to make it to the end of this whole thing. And yeah, he won in his home state of New York and all of that, so I kind of figured he was going to win anyways, but I felt like this whole tournament, I don't want to say it's been a waste throughout all of it, but it has in a way also at the same time. Shit, somebody even told me, what are they fighting for again? What, Quiznos coupons out there? It's like we're just having matches, okay? We're having matches than it is more of an actual story within all of this. And it's like I said before, we're fighting for 3 title belts. 3 title belts, which do they really matter like that? So it was a good match. I enjoyed Mox and Kingston. It wasn't bad. It's just what they were fighting for. That's my problem with this whole tournament. It just felt like it was a way just to bypass storylines through a month on TV.
Yeah, and the rest of the show suffered for that because this is taking so much TV time up. You don't have room to build up other things. So that's why we get what we get on this show, where they just randomly announce a bunch of matches last minute because you got to fill a card. But we haven't had time to build anything because we're doing 20-minute matches 3 times a show. And it's like, you know, fine. I mean, I didn't really mind it, but that's just the collateral consequence when you do stuff like that. Yeah. I didn't really pay too much attention to this match. I'm gonna just keep it a stack, like, because I already knew what was going to. And before I even say this, I'm a big fan of Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley, but I already knew what this match was going to be, and at that point in the night, I was just like, whatever, man. We're going to get some strike exchanges, and then Eddie will probably win, and that's that. And
Chop fest.
It's like, I don't know, man. They need like some new producers or something in AEW, because a lot of these matches kind of just feel the same sometimes. Like, people complain about spot fest and comedy matches and all that, but for me, it's like every match can't be a strike exchange. Like, I know I've seen like 5 superplexes on this show. 2 matches in a row had a figure 4 spot. It's just like switch it up, man. This is why we need this should have been like a trios match on here or something, bro. Because it's like, as soon as we got to this match, I was like, all right, well, here we go. Strike exchanges and who can chop harder than who, and who can slap harder than who. And it's just like, nothing that, like you said, nothing about it was bad. It was good. But I wasn't into it for a different reason than you. I was just like, at this point in the night, I'm like, yeah, I seen all of this already. Like, maybe they should have rearranged the card better or something. But by the time we got to this match, I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be cool. I know what it's gonna be, and Eddie will probably win, and that's cool, great for him. But I was just like, like, eh. Maybe I wouldn't have felt like that if the rest of the card didn't keep pushing me down, bro. But I don't know. But yeah.
I would like to say that about it. Even though this one, like I said, this one of the matches I didn't watch, but it's just about the tournament period. It just felt like I was talking to a lot of people on Twitter about it constantly, about it like throughout the weeks. And they, every time I mention, like, man, what is this tournament for? They try to get sarcastic with me and get smug. If you don't know it before the Continental Championship, what is that? Like, you gonna keep on telling me about this? And I'm like, nobody mentioned it throughout the whole, like, I don't know if it was just me. Y'all probably heard them mention the title constantly on the throughout the matches when I was watching the tournament matches, but they barely even say anything about the title. You know what I'm saying? What they fighting for when I do watch these tournament matches. I watched a handful of tournament matches and I swear I I barely heard anything about the title that they made up. Real talk. They barely even mention that. All they keep on mentioning, oh, the points this, the points that, blue and gold, and all that stuff. Like I rarely heard anything about that title, so
What?
it made me think
I'm
that
on the phone, not now.
Whoa.
Fuck off, I'm on the phone.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
I felt like I just felt like this tournament. And then also one thing about the tournament too. I don't the I totally forgot about the title until people kept on mentioning it. I just thought it was those titles that Eddie Kingston just put up on his titles. I like, well, is this tournament all about his titles? And that's all I thought at first. And but now it's just like it was a good tool if you wanted to get Eddie over. That's who won, y'all, right?
yeah, 81.
81. It was a good tool. It was. It was a good tool if you wanted to get him over. And I see they trying their best to get him over, but it, the only reason it's not working because he don't have none of the major titles. You gave him the Ring of Honor World title, all right. You gave him the New Japan Strong title, all right. Then you gave him a new title that y'all just made up. Okay, what do that all of that stuff mean? In the
No,
grand
that's an
scheme of
excellent
things,
point, man. Because like,
What does it mean?
because all right, obviously, Tony said this is going to be a year-round thing or a yearly thing, where the champion, the Continental champion, will defend the belt in the tournament or whatever. But outside of that, like, it's just another belt. Like, what makes it different than the international title or the TNT title? It's not like it has its own rules or anything. It's literally just another title on the show until you get to this point next year. And so, is Eddie going to be defending this every week? Because then, like, I don't know. Like, once we get to the tournament and the belt can swap hands and stuff, so whoever is champion at that point is the Continental champion. He has to defend it in the turn. Like, so what? Like, well, it's just another belt until this time next year, and even by that time next year, it's like, is it like the Owen Hart thing? Because that's not a, you don't defend that in the tournament or whatever. It's just, I don't know, man. All this is kind of, like I said, it didn't really bother me, but the more we talk about it, I'm just like, well, yeah, like what?
I think they really wanted to try to be like New Japan with the G1.
But then it should have just been for a title shot, and we
And
wouldn't
there you
even
go.
have had.
I
That's
thought
what I mean.
too.
It should have been for a world title shot. Why are we doing this for a belt that just got made up and two belts that aren't even really part? One of these belts aren't even part of this company.
Two of
Another
them,
one,
technically.
two of them, yeah, Ring of Honor, but it's under the AEW umbrella. But still, like, why is this even for three belts anyways? That's my problem with this whole tournament. It's like we're doing this for some titles that people don't really care about and one that just got made up. And that's why I meant this whole thing, and this what Kyle told me a while ago, this is about matches more than it is story. It's even from the point system, and then like, oh, we're not gonna allow interferences in this match. That doesn't count. So it just looks like this was just going on just to coast for the next month until we can come up with something else. Okay, good matches, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed some of the matches, but at the same time, I felt this was just kind of just going to be going. And I figured Eddie Kingston was gonna make it to the end of this whole thing because, like, well, he is still the Ring of Honor and New Japan Strong Openweight champion, so they're not just gonna have him lose like that in a tournament. So, like that's my whole thing about it. So it's like, good, he won, but it's like, where is any of this really gonna matter, and where is this even going now? Given that he has three title belts now, and especially for a new one that just got made up. So I don't know.
Uh,
So
Yeah, y'all just sum it up for me, man. It's like and some of this, like I just feel like it it's not gonna help anybody if we got all these titles walking around here. It's just not. It goes back to what I was saying earlier with the title elevated anything elevated people, or it's supposed to do what is if that's the job it's supposed to do, but it's like it's not going to help anybody if I got a TNT championship and he got the international championship, which it feels like another mid card title like mine, and then this guy right here got the Continental championship and it feels like mine too. So we got three mid card titles walking around here, and then not only that, let's go here. We might have a person with the pure title come around, a person with the Ring of Honor television championship come around. It's like all the damn title belts, man. Somebody needs to X some of this, man. Some of these titles gotta be X, because here's the thing: when you come down to a pay per view like let's just say like this, and you want some of these titles to be on a pay per view, well, they matches gonna feel lackluster because nobody gonna care about the international championship or the continental championship or the TNT championship. Nobody gonna care. It's just gonna be there. Oh, it's gonna be a match for the TNT championship. Who cares?
Too,
Too
too many belts. Just too many belts. But
many belts.
let's move to the main event. MJF versus Samoa Joe for the World Heavyweight Championship. They did have MJF with a big video package of, I guess, a whole bunch of Long Island New Yorkers saying he's our scumbag. Adam Cole came out wearing all black, which basically kind of gave away who was going to be the devil already. So that
Oh, no,
immediately
he
gave
didn't.
it away. That just gave it away. It really did. That already just told me.
Oh
Oh, he's
my
wearing all
goodness.
black? Yep, we know where this is going. And honestly, this match, it wasn't bad. The thing that matters is that Samoa Joe won. I'm happy. He choked out MJF, so MJF didn't even tap. Hell, MJF did a damn F5 on Samoa Joe. I saw that. But
Yeah, that was impressive.
just looking at this whole thing, it's like you knew where stuff was gonna go once the ref bump happened. And listen, MJF was already kind of hurt out here as it is anyway. The guy's shoulder is all taped up, which I'm gonna get into a little bit more about that in a minute. But like the match itself, it was kind of like, the crowd was obviously, they were going to be on MJF's side. MJF's the hometown guy and whatnot, so they were going to be against Joe. But, MJF trying to do the diamond ring thing, and Joe ended up getting the coquina clutch, and, the rep ended up picking up, MJF's arm 3 times, and Joe choked him out. Joe won the world championship. Like I said, I'm happy with that. But then now let's get to this whole devil thing, all right? So, you know, Cole's trying to give MJF a pep talk. They get up. The devil people come out then, and then they're trying to fight him off with a crutch and all that. And then, they got them both on their knees, and one's got a chair. And MJF's like, don't hit him. Hit me with it. Hit me with it. I'll take it. And then the lights go out. And then it's Adam Cole sitting in a chair, being the leader of the devil, pulling the mask out. Everybody reveals their mask, which honestly, I think we all know who all these guys were going to be. Wardlow, Roderick Strong, and the Kingdom. Okay? So this was very, very predictable. And then MJF was like, you too, Cole? And then, all the guys just start beating up MJF. And, Wardlow's power bombing him out there. And, Cole's got the mask and, just drops on MJF and the show goes off the air. Honestly, this was some WCW 2000 booking right here. Okay. And especially the line with Excalibur said, oh, what? Tonight, MJF's world has come to an end, which now with MJF losing the title, I do have a few questions about this now. One, will he be taking time off, I guess, to get surgery
Yeah,
since this
he
guy's
did.
apparently
Yeah.
legitimately hurt? And two, will he be going to the WWE very soon since everybody wants to bring up the bidding war of 2024? Because did he even sign a recontract extension with AEW, or is he going to be done really soon and headed to the WWE? Because honestly, this whole devil thing, I've had people tell me they've already called this from the get-go of Cole being the leader. So that's already been a thing. But this whole thing's been all over the place. Wardlow is once again a damn playing second fiddle to somebody again. Like he played second fiddle to MJF first, so now he's playing second fiddle to Cole. And even looking at the show throughout the whole week, you knew it was Wardlow in this too. Look at, he was the biggest dude out of everybody in there. And Roger Strong, I'm not surprised. I kind of figured. So it's like, no, it's like it wasn't a swerve. It's like it was nobody new. It's not like it was anybody unexpected. Hell, people thought Tony Khan could have been the devil and got back on MJF on some, Vince McMahon. It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin. He could have went out there and said, who's the fucking mark now? He could have did that. Hell, it wasn't even none of the people that we seen in these, the 90-day contract thing. Everybody that got released from the WWE, probably a few weeks ago and whatnot, a month ago now, it could have been one of them. People were saying it could have been Ziggler. Some were saying it could have been Mustafa Ali, or I don't know, Elias or something. I thought at least it could have been somebody that was going to be such a big left turn, it would have had everybody shocked. No, this was very predictable. It was predictable, and I just kind of sat there and shook my head. And like I said before, with the minute Adam Cole came out in all black, you knew he was the leader of all this. That just gave it away immediately. So I don't know. This just was not it. It wasn't. And this whole story hasn't been it for a while. But at least they finally unveiled the thing, even though it was predictable as ever. So what y'all got to say?
Well, I'm gonna counter what you said, and I'm gonna say that if any of those options happened that you just said, you would have hated that even more. Trust me.
No, I would have been
Like
okay with Kyle O'Reilly, maybe. I would have been okay with that.
Kyle O'Reilly, maybe, but sometimes the best option is the most obvious option, man. I promise you, if Tony Khan, Dolph Ziggler, Elias, Mustafa Ali, if any of those dudes, Jungle Boy, if any of the people that people were
Thank God it
speculating
wasn't.
on took that mask off and it was them, everyone would have hated it, bro. So I'm perfectly fine with it. May have been predictable, but to me, I'm not in the camp of predictable being a bad thing. Sometimes you just gotta go with what makes sense, man. It had to be Adam Cole because what have we been saying all this time? Every time we've come on a podcast talking about this, I said anytime you brought up a name, I'm like, well, to what end? What beef would they have with MJF? Why would they be involved with this with MJF? It would have to be somebody that is directly linked to MJF, and the only person that it would be is Adam Cole. Like anybody else, you would have just had to make something up or reached to make something make sense. Like when people were saying, well, it could be Jungle Boy because MJF would cut that promo on him saying you have to be this and you have to have that kill. Like, no, bro, that is not reason enough to do all of this shit. It's like it has to be Adam Cole, and the fact that it was Adam Cole is the perfect ending. And it may have felt WCW 2000 in the end of it, how they did it, but I thought the reveal actually was pretty cool too. Like when the lights went out and Cole was sitting in the chair, I was like, that's cool. And then they just beat his ass. Like I thought that was cool, bro. Like I wasn't. I mean, the match because we didn't really talk about the match. I mean, you did, but the match was fine or whatever. But it was a lot like Roman and Kevin Owens at the Rumble, where it's like, all right, this match is just the means to the end to get to where we want to go after this. Like, it's not even really about the match. I'm happy Joe won. Joe deserves a world championship. Shout out to the first non-white AEW champion, Samoa Joe. But
Man,
it wasn't
I
even
love
about any of that. It was about getting to the devil thing afterwards. So when all that was done and we got to the devil stuff, I thought it could have been way cornier. The reveal could have been way worse. The person could have been way worse. So I walked away with it like, yeah, that was cool. I mean, after a show that I didn't like really at all, I thought the ending was all right.
my point of view on this, like how I looked at it when I saw all the spoilers. So not the spoilers, but since I didn't watch the show, I saw all the clips and everything. I My first reaction was, oh, okay, duh. It was gonna be them too. It would be. I mean, it was gonna be them that have a problem with MJF. now listening to you, Steven, it kind of made me think that you was right. This the only way to go. This was the only way to go. See, at first I was with Bryce, and we were talking on Thursday about it, and I was saying it should have been somebody for the 90-day thing, who got released from WWE, and then but now since I'm listening to you, and I was listening, I'm like, this is the right route because it would have made no damn sense for having thought to come in. What was your motivation would have been to come in and to the new company and not even screw over the world champion because he ain't the world champion no more once the match ended. And what was your motivation to screw this man over? It would have been it would have been no motivation. You get what I'm saying? There would have been no motivation for Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, Elias. It would have been no motivation for them to come and screw over the world champion if you not even going for the world championship no more because guess what? He not the champion no more. So what would be the point? So yeah, it would be the only reasonable explanation would be Warlow, the Kingdom, Rodney, and Adam because all of them will have a legit claim against MJF.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
given
man,
the
I can't
players
wait
involved.
for. They're both hurt right now, so
Yeah, that was my next question because
no, go
Cole
ahead,
is
yo.
still legitimately hurt,
Yeah.
and I guess MJF is
And so
legitimately
was in
hurt.
there.
Yeah, so is MJF too. So apparently he may be taking time off to get surgery after this, or people still wonder if he even signed a new deal with AEW yet, because there's already speculation he could be going to the WWE soon.
Uh,
Yeah, what I was going to say was that I mean they're both hurt, but I can't wait, like hear them cold face MJF promos against each other. Like that ought to be heat whenever we can get them, if we get them.
Yeah,
Like,
if we even get him,
if
or
we get them, then I'm on board for all of that, man.
hopefully it's more of Cole talking and not Wardlow talking, because they've had Wardlow just talk, talk, mostly talk all the time. That's all we've really seen him do. And as for Roderick Strong and the Kingdom, we've kind of seen them as goofballs. I guess now we're gonna make it more serious, but we've already seen the whole wheelchair and the neck and the Adam Samoa Joe Renee. Forget. That's mostly what we've seen out of all of this. So it's gonna go somewhere now. But then, like I said, that's if MJF will be around after this. And whatnot, because where is it going to go now? That's the real question. Since now they got this double thing.
Yeah,
And
that's one aspect I'm not too sure on, man. Because like I like the Adam Cole reveal, but the rest of the lot outside of Wardlow they've been played up for comedy for so long, and this isn't a
hmm
comedy angle. Like nothing
Yeah.
about this is funny. But Roderick Strong and the Kingdom have been like jokes for so long now.
Oh,
I don't know how that's going to play out at all. Like,
I
so
wish
are
you
they
all
all
that.
of a sudden going to be serious? Like, I don't know.
yeah, do I
I
take
wish
these
you all
guys serious
that.
now?
I can't take them serious, and I won't. And I ain't gonna need a lot to you. See, when I first saw the Kingdom come back, and and Mac Taven and Mike Bennett, I was like, oh, okay. I'm, man, they can make them legitimately something. That's not very, that's not have them in, too many stupid angles. And guess what? We had them with this dumb angle. I don't find none of this funny. Like Steven said, none of this stuff is funny to me. It's just, oh, Adam, please shut up. Like, like I don't find that funny. Real talk, it just never was funny to me. It just never was funny to me. And I don't know who made it because it has to be funny to somebody for them to continue on with it. And I don't know who it was funny for, but those guys, man, look. I hate y'all because y'all made it to the point that we have to hear it every week on television.
Next strong. So I'm kind of glad he wasn't the leader because it's like, dude, you've been kind of a goofball for a while, and I'm like, it's a good thing he's not the leader because I'm like, why should I now take him serious? Even when now it's a serious thing. We've been watching you walk around with a wheelchair and a neck brace, and Matt Taven carrying giraffes around with him. Now I'm supposed to take these guys seriously? Come
Right.
on. So I get why they're part of this whole thing, but they've been presented as goofballs for the longest time. Because I've already seen enough, somewhat out of the blue. People thought it was gonna be the devil anyways, other than Adam Cole. I've even seen people say, it could be Britt Baker. She could be the devil and whatnot. And I kind of said how. Because the thing I've always kind of heard, she could be the devil because she gets jealous of Adam Cole for jealous of MJF for trying to take Adam Cole from her.
What?
Yeah, I've heard that.
What? What are
She
they
was
fucking?
there.
Like, what are you talking about?
Well, I
Wait,
don't know. I don't know
Huh?
that part, but he's not hanging with her. He's hanging out more with him than her.
That nigga at home with his leg up, and she probably taking care of him. Like, what are we talking about?
She's not happy about her booking right now. So, we don't know that all the way.
It was never going to be Britt Baker because they have to have a match, and they're not going to do
Yeah, we go.
MJF versus Britt
It's
Baker.
not
got
going to happen.
You're gonna have to have the match with the devil. And it could be her.
Nah, cause I'm like, how would that even work? Because I heard that was gonna be a suggestion. Shit, I heard Sting would have been because they had a baseball bat one week, so it could be Sting. Sting carries a baseball bat.
I mean, it could have been Jericho then, if that's what we're talking about.
Right.
That too, yeah. Jericho's got Floyd with him, so yeah, he's got a baseball bat also. So that was another suggestion that was thrown out there. So it was
And he's
like
got history with MJF, so I mean, that's not crazy.
but that's
Although,
not crazy. There's history to it.
you know,
That's true. So it could have been anybody, but like I said, with Cole, it's been the most. We've seen the whole best friend buddy cop 80s movie angles they've been doing, and now it's like he's turned on him. So we will see what happens, depending if MJF will even be on TV this Wednesday, or depending how long he'll be taking off. I don't know. And I guess Adam Cole will be directing these guys while sitting in a chair or something or on crutches because we don't know when he's going to be getting back doing anything right now other than just being on TV talking. So that'll be the case behind that. But, honestly, I look at this whole show. It really wasn't good. Even just like Kyle said, even the stuff that was good, there's still a lot of flaws into it. A lot of this stuff was either last minute with some of these matches or just didn't make zero sense at all or just bad in general. And we've gone off enough stuff that was bad. So this was not really the way to kind of, kind of end off with this whole pay-per-view thing of the year. And right now, AEW has enough problems as it is. It's like it's something every day with them that we hear about. But if I had to give this pay-per-view like a grade, probably give it a D.
You're being too generous.
Maybe a D minus. You want me to say an F? Because it was
Because
bad.
that's
It
what
was bad.
I swear that's what I'm about to give it. Real talk. Well, I was about to get ready for this letter grade. I swear I'm about to give it an F. Real talk. It's an F. Straight up. Straight up. It's an F. Maybe one match that you could say that if you will give it a star rating for 1 through 5, then any of these matches go over a 3 to you.
Hmm.
uh, maybe
Uh,
like Edge and Christian can get like a 3.5.
I was just thinking that. I
But
was
this
just
ain't
gonna
nothing
say
about
Edge and Christian.
but Stephen and Brace, right? Yeah, this was a 11. It was an 11 card matchup. Am I right? I mean, pay per view was it 11 matches? Card right here.
Shit,
And so out of one
13,
match,
13 if you count the
13.
pre-show.
And so you telling me out of 13 matches, only one could get at least a 3.5 star rating to a 4 star rating. That's an F. That's an F. Because I can't even give it. I can't go through all the matches that I say, man. Though that was a banger. Oh, that was a banger. It was no matches with bangers, and or even decent to me. Yeah, I gotta give it an F, man. It was the worst pay per view I see they put on so far. Real talk.
I
For the
say if I
build,
had to break each match down, then probably the last three matches, I give like a solid three. Maybe Edge and Christian can get like a 3.25 or 3.5. But the majority of the matches, I wasn't feeling. Two of the matches actively pissed me off. So, I mean, I don't know. I thought a lot of the work was solid. It's just nothing on this show that I would ever go back and watch. So I'd probably go like a D too. Like, because nothing on it, like, if I go back to even comparing the best versions of the matches we got, like, if we're talking multi-man tag matches, your Sting Spotlight match, your hardcore esque match, your Strike Exchange New Japan style match. Nothing on this show touched what I've seen from even the last AEW pay per view. So
mm-hmm.
it can't get in the least, not even in the same ballpark. So I'd probably go D, and that may seem like because I've seen people say like 6.5 and stuff like that, but I'm like,
Ooh.
but if I didn't actively enjoy what I was looking at, man, that's all I can go by. Like if I didn't enjoy it, matches just being here dragging out for really no reason at all. Both women's matches were just at best. Swerve and Dustin was like stupid. Andrade and Miro was just Goldberg and Lesnar from WrestleMania 20. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted to be there.
It felt like nice
Like,
comparison, boy.
yeah,
Nice
I go
comparison.
deep, bro.
Nice comparison because yeah, it felt like that. It felt like that. It even had some of the same elements of it. One person on their way out, you know what I'm saying? The next person, he's probably gonna be there for a minute, but it ain't like he wanna be there. He reluctantly being there right now. He thinking about like, man, I can't wait to get out the contract. Real talk, I don't want to be here. And like, nice comparison, boy. I definitely agree.
Yeah, that is a good way to look at it. So yeah, a lot of this was not really good. It just really wasn't. Like this whole show was not it. It wasn't it at all. Like everything we just all said, like that they all play a factor into why this show was bad. Okay. And it's especially that WrestleMania 20 thing. Like that's a very good comparison. Because like I said, with right now with AEW, they're not really in a good spot right now. It's something every day with them. Everyone's either leaving or jumping ship right now or going back to the WWE. Um, my friend Gerard said it best. TNA should really take advantage of this right now while they doing bad. Like they really should. Because at least I've
They
even
can
seen
afford
people.
to.
There we go.
They,
Bingo.
yeah, if they can
Nice,
afford
nice.
big
Yeah,
names.
if they can afford to.
That's a
That,
good
that's
question.
that's the only thing, and man, that's the only thing that holds TNA back is
Money.
the money. Can they afford to do that?
It's money. Tony can just throw money at anything, and that's just kind of it. Which it's always there's been a question also when it comes to AEW and Tony. Tony can put as much money as he wants into this. He's a billionaire and whatnot. But how much money are you actually making back off of this company? Like I really wonder that sometimes. Cause like you can't just go out there and keep saying Wembley this and Wembley that. But it's like, dude, we know about the low ticket sales. We know the attendance ain't been all that. We've seen a lot of empty seats. We've seen money being lost. We just seen just stuff, just anything happening. Just like it hasn't been good. I could name a whole bunch of things that have caused AEW to take a lot of dents right now. Okay, whether it be the Punk situation or just people leaving or what, controversies, just a whole bunch of stuff we could go on about to why they're not really doing that good. And this pay per view did not do them any favors to at the same time, or just booking in general. So it's a lot to say about Tony. I could go in about the whole media scrum thing if I want to, because I saw some of what he said, and I'm sure because a lot of people wondered if he was going to address a lot of this stuff. He really didn't, and I just know one thing I know him saying from last night. He said like, well, this is the safest company ever. We're safe. We have top safety stuff. Everybody's safe over here and whatnot. While you're wearing giant sunglasses and a giant red fur hat that Tony Storm put on you while answering this question.
It's just funny seeing everybody like talk about the sky is falling with AEW and AEW's in the mud right now and all this. And I'm like, bro, Revolution last year, I was saying all this storyline stuff, the way they were booking their shows was not good, bro. And it's like I said, it's cool to get validation, but at the same time, it's sad because it's like these problems could have been avoided, bro. But y'all just didn't fix them. Like, and instead, y'all kind of double down on them, the same problems. Now they're kind of spreading out. And this is just talking strictly on what we see on TV. That's not even getting into the backstage stuff. Like, strictly talking TV stuff, all that's going on is like, yeah, you're not making compelling television. And that's the crux of all of this, man. Low ticket sales, low ratings, people losing interest in the product, people wanting to leave and go to WWE. It's literally, you're just not making compelling television, man. And I guess this devil thing was their swing in the dark to try to get that, but like y'all blew your load on that, man. Like that was the way y'all booked that. Like I like the reveal, but how we got here was so trash, bro. Like, yeah, man. I don't know what the answer is, but the way they've been going about it ain't been it.
They're too cold. They're very cold right now. They're not as hot as they once were. Very cold. So yeah, that's how I put it. But other than that, though, we are done with this very long pay-per-view because these AEW pay-per-views always go long. The next time I'm sure we'll be on here. Honestly, if it wasn't for this pay-per-view, we'd probably be doing end of the year review right now. But I may save that for next week. If y'all interested. And still doing end of the year.
I don't know about
recap.
I don't know about end of the year because I know those jumps go like 4 hours. But if you do that and then we can do like a best matches of the year or something as a separate thing, then I'd do that.
But here's the thing: if we're gonna do that, we're gonna have to take throughout the week. And, the spare time that we do get, we can take throughout the week. Uh, uh, List it off though, matches, so it won't be as long.
Yeah, let's write some stuff down. So yeah, especially
I've been doing it all year because I'm low-key thinking about it. Like if I was ever going to do a show like that, then I want to be prepared. But like you can't lump it all into one video. That's why they go so damn long. Like if you want to talk about the news and the contracts and all that on top of your favorite promotion, on top of your favorite shows, and it's like
because it's been a lot. It's been a lot of stuff that has happened. Like you said, whether it be matches, whether it be stories, whether it be anybody that went to some company, or because it's a lot of things we could talk about. TKO or what people going back to the WWE or what Bray Wyatt. That's another subject. It's a lot to say throughout the entire year. Like I said, it's more than just it's a lot of stuff. So I get what you mean, and separating so it doesn't sit for 4 hours though. So yeah, we'll think of something on that. But I will say at least this: I think the next pay-per-view to review is the return of TNA for Hard to Kill.
Oh, okay. I was about to say the Royal Rumble. Yeah, well, I forgot about that.
I thought so too, but because that's the only major pay per view I know that's in the near future. But man, all right, Hard to Kill.
Yeah, definitely TNA Hard to Kill because it's the return of TNA, and hopefully it's something big. So, like I said, they've been kind of going along with this since October, so they have a chance right now, especially with TNA returning, and we only know a few matches is anyways. Stuff could happen, could be surprises. I don't know, but it is going to be interesting when Hard to Kill comes up because that's the only other big pay-per-view I can really think of right now. I'm not going to go with Wrestle Kingdom because obviously no one's not staying up to 2, 3 in the morning to watch Wrestle Kingdom, and I probably would catch Wrestle Kingdom the next day anyways to see how that goes. So I know we're not going to review that. But yeah, Hard to Kill will obviously be the next main pay-per-view. But other than that, does anybody have anything to say before we go? Plugs, anything?
Nah, nothing else. Yeah, Happy New Year's. That's about it.
Yep, hoping to see y'all brothers in the new year. That's about it. It's always been fun doing these with y'all, and yeah.
But yeah, other than that, we are done from here. Happy holidays, everybody.